Boom. All right. Everything's set up. YouTube streams typically take me a few minutes nowadays because I gotta grab thumbnail, upload the thumbnail, sign into Stream Elements on 2 different accounts on 2 different browsers, and
almost a full year LFG.
Someone needs to fill this saddle.
Let's say unverified. Is it unverified? Yeah, it is. Huh. That's a name. Yo, thanks me unverified for 5 gifties. Appreciated. It's Calco Kitty thing the 6 months, Scarecrow thing the 5 months, Josina thing the 200 bits, TJ thing the 11 months. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, it typically takes some time for me to set everything up. But yeah, so this week's been interesting, to say the least.
You'll need more grit.
This week's been interesting. If you were here yesterday, that sponsor was something. Oh, Spawn's Foxing's 10 months. Appreciated. That sponsor was interesting. If you'd agree, I don't know. And didn't expect that one. Didn't expect it to play out quite like that.
That should be in your bonnet.
Ice cream truck the god. Oh man. Also, sub YouTube as you're filing on in. Hello.
Get on.
Yeah, that was interesting. Wait, that was a sponsor stream? Yes, I got paid for that. Tell you about who? I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, it was if you missed yesterday, chat, we got a sponsor to stream something called like A7FL, which was like their own take on 7-on-7 football. And dude, I swear they were just making shit up at some point. I swear. They were just making shit up for a bit. Like, even the commentators were confused on the rules. And they were like, yeah, not really sure. Dude, any clippers? Dude, I don't know. I feel like that whole stream is a clip. The scoreboard was wrong. Yeah, the scoreboard was wrong the entire game. I am convinced that the time clock was wrong, and that game went way longer than it was supposed to. They were losing like 40-0.
Double kill.
I despise sports because just running and pretending to be hurt. As someone who's played it, no, like, I mean, it does actually. There's not a whole lot of people who actually pretend.
I never miss
It does actually hurt. Just sometimes it doesn't make sense. I'll give you a good example. One time, my freshman year of football, I was doing like one-on-one drills, and for some reason, I forget what it was, but like, I don't know if it was one-on-ones or what, but like, I ended up having to like. No, it wasn't one-on-ones, and it was 2-on-1s. But you were supposed to like put one hand on the guy, and like you had a guy next to you who was also putting one hand on him, right? It was like a pass set, but the guy next to me didn't really help, so they got through. And I remember I like tweaked this way, like, you know what I mean? Like turned, and something popped in my lower back that made it so I couldn't bend more than like 3 degrees like forward, unless I was in excruciating pain. So for about 2 weeks I literally walked around like this the entire time, and then if I had to access my locker was on the lower end, I had to access it like this. It was terrible, and it didn't look like I took an injury at all. Like, people were like, dude, are you good? Like, you didn't even like get hurt yesterday. I'm like, no, it's real, I promise. Like you could tell, like if I like sat the wrong way, you'd watch me just like jump. and be like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I just felt a jolt go up my spine. So yeah. A lot of people say like, oh, people are faking it, and definitely it does happen sometimes. But I give people the benefit of the doubt.
Really underestimate
That's crazy. Can't believe I've been around this long.
Thanks for 22 months. Appreciate it, buddy. But yeah. And Marine, thank you for the 20 months.
Tired greetings and all the best. Less than 3.
I feel that. I feel that. I was kind of thinking about just chilling today as well. I've definitely gotten a little bit lazy this week, but it's been a fun type of lazy. Like I just literally just caught up on a bunch of stuff that I wanted to catch up on and having a good time with it. But I think today is probably a day where we can still be kind of lazy because I think I have juice. Eskay's thing with 5 gifties. Appreciate it, thingy. And 5 gifties.
You don't know when to
No,
quit.
and 1,000 bits. Thanks so much. And missing the 200 as well. I'll let TCS grab that. TCS, hello?
Woe rejoice, add freebie upon ye.
Thanks 1,000 bits and the 5 gifties. Reparative thing that's 16 months. I appreciate it. Yeah, juice. I got a couple codes we can go through.
I'm really
And then also mods did me a solid yesterday and went around and grabbed every single person that they could find. Sorry, every single person they could find that has like impact or influence on this community's tweets on 5v5 or 6v6, and I figured I'd just read them because I don't actually have like a ton of opinions on it. I actually just have one secret sauce, I think, that nobody's thought about. But yeah. Alright, which one you want to start with? Give me a 1 if you want to start with codes. Give me a 2 if you want to start with tweets.
Flatside demands Discord link. Also love your vidman Mawa.
Hey, there's literally a command for it. Alright, 2 seems to be winning. Oh, I forgot. I gotta give time for YouTube. YouTube's like 10 seconds behind. I gotta give him time. Hold on. Okay, YouTube looks like it's 2s as well. Okay, the lag for YouTube is always really funny. All right, hold on. Let me open all of these. Oh boy. Oh my god, that's a lot. My god, that's a lot. Okay. Was this the tweet that started it all? I don't know if this was the tweet that started it all. Someone might have to correct me if I'm wrong. Also, let me go back to my normal spot. I forgot we were doing that sponsor stream the other day. There we go. Now I feel nice and at home. I don't know, was this the first one? Whose was first? Do you guys remember? Let someone say Jake. Nah, Jake's wasn't first. Eskay's ahead of Jake. All right, so I think Eskay was first. I think Eskay started it. Because a lot of people were just talking about random stuff the last weekend. Dude, this weekend was, I swear, full of everyone yapping. Everyone on all platforms just decided to start yapping this weekend. Mr. Wagning with 15 months. You know what it probably was? It's probably the PvE canceling stuff. That just like gets everyone upset more than anything, you know? Myself included. It was Gale, actually. Was it Gale? Oh, Gale did make it.
$5 from Adrian Lindsay. Do you think the switch to 5v5 didn't take into account that there are main tank and off-tank players, ruining a lot of tank player behaviors?
It doesn't matter. The biggest thing going into tank is nobody wanted to play tank. Main tank and off tank were made up things by the community. Granted, they were made up because they actually worked. But Like, the biggest things are like queue time, and nobody wanted to play tank. Real talk. So Gale made this tweet first. I thought Eskay's was first, but I guess Gale's was first. After so much playtime, around 12k hours throughout the years, I can fully say that 66 was still the best form of Overwatch. Oh, also, hang on. I don't know if I said it at the beginning, so let me reiterate. I'm very in the middle. I have like a secret sauce take, I think, which I can give at the end to see if anyone gives it. I don't think anyone's gonna. But yeah, I honestly, I can see both ways. So I just want, the whole point of this is I'm going to go through and look at everyone else's tweets. I want to see what everyone's talking about, because everyone this weekend decided to just give their full fucking thoughts on tons of stuff with 5v5 Some of it's good, some of it's bad. And I figured I'd just go through them and then let you guys figure out your own take based on what they say. Okay. I'm not saying Double Shield was great or that Ghost was great. Both were terrible, but man, 66 was good. When 66 was good, it was great, and I miss it. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think there was some great times in 6v6, but I also think part of it's rose-tinted glasses. And I say that as someone who probably has a lot of want and would have a lot of good going back to 6v6, because that means me and Iman could play again. Because otherwise it's just not as fun, and people make it weird half the time when we play if one of us is off rolling or we're both off rolling. It's just not it's honestly just not as good of a time. It's kind of sucked. So personally, I have a lot of personal desire probably for 66 to come back, but I'm trying to be very objective, and that's why I'm very much in the middle. Current Overwatch 2 feels bad to play, and I find myself being more and more frustrated playing it. Hypermobile characters like Lucio, Moira, Tracer, Sombra, dive comms genuinely make the game unbearable to play. It's because Ghost 2.0 was somehow worse. It just isn't fun. I don't know if I totally agree with that, but high-level gameplay consists of 3-2-1 go backline. That's true. And the fights are just lame as fuck to watch as you witness the stampede of ult explosions and characters flying off the walls to kill their supports. But that's always been Overwatch. The second half, it just ultimates going off all over the place. And I agree. I actually think there's too many ults in Overwatch, but there's a problem with that. The reason ults can't get any more nerfed right now, quote unquote, to like, okay, so you want your ultimate to feel impactful, right? So I'm not saying nerf the impact. What I would say, if anything, is nerf how fast you get them, but there's a problem with that, where if you nerf them any more than what it's at, like, you know, to charge your ult, dude, you can have full games in, like, especially your lower middle ranks, like your bronze, silver, gold, where somebody doesn't get an ultimate, right? Like on Control, if a Control game goes 100-0, half the game is probably didn't get an ult, right? That's not fun for them. That's shit. So how do you balance that? I don't know. Like, genuinely, where is the fun mechanics to watch? Where is the satisfaction? Current Overwatch gameplay lacks this, and the excitement no longer is there for good gameplay. It's one of the reasons no one really cares for montages in Overwatch since the old days. I don't think anyone cares about montages at all, though.
Thunder Fury, blessed blade of Nerf Genji.
Thanks for the 2 months. Or sorry, 18 months. I apologize. Tier 2 for 18 months. I thought it was a 2-month sub. Thank you so much. That being said, Overwatch is still the best game we've gotten for this genre. It can still redeem itself as being the best game ever, but at this point, I have no clue we will get there with its current formula. I actually disagree with that. I think Overwatch is actually growing, and I think the data supports that so far, and at least in the last like 3 months. I hope your day's
going well.
Hi.
You're the first ever streamer I've subbed to. Love your content.
Thanks.
May I request a video reaction? I want to see you roast this clown less than 3.
I do not do them by request at all, for many reasons, and one of them being, of course, I don't want it to be like a pick me situation where everyone's jumping up and down like pick me, so it's always random, just whatever the fuck I feel like it. I don't even know what thing you're talking about specifically. So if it's like TikTok stuff, it goes in TikTok. If it's other codes, then it goes through codes, and then we go from there. It's always completely random, and I try not to let people influence it, no matter how much money they throw at me. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the 5, though. Sorry, coming back around. Gator responded to this. It's a matter of time. 90% of the reason I retired, lol. A classic mode or a competitive 66 would be awesome. 5v5 is not awful, but 2 tanks or roll lock / flex Q would be amazing. And he says, real shit. I don't really want to scroll Twitter. Scrolling Twitter is scary. But Iron responded and said, 5v5 is miserable for tank. We need 66 back. Counterpicking is torture, and the low skill ground tanks are king. The skill difference between tanks and heroes like Ramattra and Orisa is little to none. Well, he's actually so right, though. Like, you know what? Okay, all right. Here's the thing. It's kind of spooky. Have you noticed? I feel like I'm going to notice a trend here as I go through this. I feel like it's mostly tank and support players that want 6v6, while it's mostly DPS players that want the 5v5. Just saying. I feel like we're going to notice that trend. Tanks especially want the 6v6 back. And I think that's partly because just tank feels shit to play. But I don't know if that's a 5v5 issue. I think it's just like we've kind of lost sight of a lot of things. And I talked about this with Mauga, is the tanks where the numbers go burr is what ends up being meta consistently. Mauga when he gets buffed, right? Like high sustain, high damage, stand like, Wah! And then when it's Ramattra meta, it's like, oh, 60% block, 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 block. And then when Orisa's meta, just fortify. And like when it was ball meta, why was ball meta? Because it was the only tank that was able to survive, like just running around the map at fucking Mach 10, right? It was all the numbers characters, and it's just like, I get it. I get it. I don't want to, hang on, I gotta flip back. Any other good ones on here? Okay. I think there's more that I have squared away. But anyways, I think we might notice a trend as we go through here. But yeah. Okay, that was Gale's original, which kicked off more people, such as Eskay, chiming in, and she says, I'm gonna say it. 6v6 in Overwatch 2 would suck. Infinite Q times, double shield, perma diva in your face, Mauga plus Ram, question mark. Overwatch scene in Collegiate would die. All the setups only have 5 PCs. Overwatch Collegiate only became big because it's 5v5 now. She's kind of right, though. She's right. She's 100% right. Let's break it down one by one. Overwatch 2 would suck in 6v6. I think there's 2 ways to look at this. 1, you're gonna have some fucking bottom feeder that comes along and goes, well, the characters that are designed for 5v5 wouldn't work in 6v6. Yeah, no fucking shit, dude. No fucking shit. But how many characters in 6v6 didn't work in 5v5 and they got reworked? You'd obviously have to rework all of them. You'd have to. So that point makes no fucking sense. But I think she's right when she says 6v6 in Overwatch would suck because of the other reasons she listed. Infinite Q times. For sure. For sure. The reason why they even originally thought of the whole 5v5 idea is, if you don't remember, back in the day, back in the Jeff Kaplan days, we're talking 2018, 2019 Overwatch, Jeff Kaplan pitched the community the idea of going 1-3-2. 1 tank, 3 DPS, and 2 supports. And it was an experimental card that was given, and it was just a couple things, like Roadhog had this fart gas, where when he walked around and he healed, he just let out this little little gas trail that went behind him, like literal fart clouds. And if you walked in the fart cloud, you got like damage resistance, which, by the way, apparently was like what they originally were gonna do with Hog when they reworked him. At least that's like what Six and some others said who got to try it early said. So they actually were going to use some of those ideas. And the other one was like Zarya. When you bubbled somebody else, if they were standing together, you would bubble everybody. So it was like chain bubble. So if your whole team was playing together, like right on top of each other, and you bubbled one of them, it would like spread and you'd get 4 bubbles out of it, right? People played it and went, wow, this is fucking trash. This is terrible. Terrible. The community hated it. And they said, okay. And so they pulled it away. But if it taught you anything, they clearly didn't think it was bad. They clearly thought it was good. And so when they rolled into Overwatch 2 in the future, they decided to go 5v5 instead of 6v6 and keep the same format, but remove a DPS, right? So why did the whole idea of going to 3 DPS? Do you want to know why they wanted to go to 3 DPS, 1 tank? Was because of Q times. In Overwatch 1, the Q times for DPS were exceptionally higher than the other 2 roles, support being the middle one in between the 2 of them, and tank being the insta-Q role. And that's how Emong used to play 30 games of Overwatch a day, like consistently 30 games of Overwatch a day, because his Q times were instant every game. Nobody wanted to play the role. So by adding another DPS and taking away a tank, their idea was to like stabilize Q times with a change in format for the game. They must have made some decisions behind the scenes and said, you know what, 3 DPS is not going to work. Let's just go 5v5 and remove one of the tanks. That's it. And that was how we got 5v5 that we have today. I'm sure there was more to it, but I think that's probably the basic idea behind the Q times. Double shield, I think, was fixable. Orisa got reworked, and I think you could even implement shield rules, right? You could even think about shield rules and be like, how do we change the way shields work in Overwatch? Because nobody complained about Sigma Reinhardt. Nobody did. What was complained about was Orisa Sigma. Right, and the whole point of Orisa Sigma is to get shield, and also doing damage the entire time, right? People didn't complain about Reinhardt's shield. Nobody's ever complained about Reinhardt's shield, like genuinely. I'm actually not even sure why Reinhardt's shield got nerfed as bad as it did going into Overwatch 2. Because nobody ever complained about it. Everyone complained about just shields, but they were talking about the other fucking ones, you know? Not Winston Bubble, they were talking about Sigma shield and Orisa shield, right? I think that could have been fixable. I think it could have been fixable. Perma dive in your face. I don't think perma dive in your face is true though for Overwatch 1. If we went back to 6v6, because there's a character that exists in the game that proves that that's not how it would play, and it is Brig. If you went back to 5v5 or 6v6, you'd have to rework Brig to how she was before. Like current Brig would not work. Maybe her ultimate still would work the same and be fine. But you just have to give stun back to Bash, and then all of a sudden, like, your dive is dead. Like, yeah, I don't think perma dive is what would end up being the meta if 6v6 came back tomorrow. Diva, not dive. Oh, permanent diva in your face. Oh, actually interesting. Oh, I misread that. Well, I guess diva dive, same shit. Yes, that's actually kind of true. That is kind of true, actually. Diva was very good everywhere. Not always, though. There was a joke in Overwatch 1 Overwatch League where if you were a Diva player, you had the best job security in the world. But then Sigma came out, and that just ended. You know? So, yeah. I mean, Diva's always been really weird. Where she's either, like, oppressively strong, or you don't really notice her that much. You ever notice that in chat in games? Sometimes if they have a diva, you don't even notice her, and sometimes she's the most annoying piece of shit you've ever played against in your entire life. It swings so hard in both directions. That describes all tanks? Nah, I don't think that's the same. I think Orisa's always a wall. I think Ramatra's always a wall, whether he's running at you or standing there. I think Malga is just fucking screaming and like in the corner like that. I don't know if I'd say that. Rein, you'd probably laughing at a Rein comes at you, unless it's like the very rare they have all rush and your team's just like disoriented, right? I would not say that every tank feels like that, at least in my opinion. But she makes a good point. Malga plus Ram, I think you'd have to rework them, like, realistically. I think I would be sad to see Ramatra reworked, but I would be jumping up and down fucking praising Jesus if Malga got reworked. Overwatch Student Collegiate would die. All the setups only have 5 PCs. Overwatch Collegiate only became big because it's 5v5 now. I think she's right. I think she's actually 100% right about that. Hold on.
$5 from Adrian Lindsay. If 6v6 comes back, the tank role could be split to offer
you can't do that.
tanks to keep some
no, you
form
can't.
of balance.
I'm sorry.
This would allow more creativity for more heroes.
You would literally kill your game overnight. And I mean this with all due niceness. I'm not trying to flame you. But genuinely, this is why I get so frustrated when I hear the community talk about certain things. Because, like, you're not thinking. Like, you don't have the experience in this, so it's not your fault. But, like, the problem of Overwatch 1 was queue times. And that people wouldn't play the game because it would take them 15 minutes to find a game. And now you're arguing not only adding that tank back, but adding a classification for that tank. Which means now you don't only have to find a queue for 2 DPS players and 2 support players. You then have to find queues for a main tank player and an off-tank player when main tank players were borderline extinct at the end of Overwatch 1. There was 10 of them. It was like, I could probably name them off. It was like me, Cloudy, Joystick, Bowie, Shock, fuck, there was like 2 Orisa one-tricks that I remember. I don't remember their names off the top of my head. They don't play anymore. Super, but Super didn't play that often in the ladder during the day. I'm thinking more of the daytime people. No, Toaster was gone. Bulger, yep, Bulger. I see he was like a diva player. Nah, Yeetle's more of an off-tank player. Six is an off-tank player. Point is, though, we're struggling to come up with it. No, those are off-tank players. You degenerates! Zoria Hog! Those are off-tank players, guys! Stop! Anyways, this is the whole point with the idea of guys saying, oh, main tank and off-tank players. You guys don't even know what off-tank and main tank players are. You don't even know who they are. Okay, anyways, point is, you would literally kill your game overnight with stuff like that. You know what I mean? You would just kill your game overnight. So, I don't know, man. It's not your fault, but like, it's why, like, stuff like that people don't think of, and I don't blame you for it. But anyways, Collegiate being 5v5, that is true. A lot of places, they only need maximum 5 PCs. Like, Overwatch is a very niche game needing 6, right? So, I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know much about Collegiate stuff anymore. I remember Collegiate was growing pretty quickly when I worked in Overwatch League. And it's actually been thriving. And the only way Overwatch esports actually has a future right now is through Collegiate partnering with esports orgs. That's my personal take. That's what LG did just recently. That's probably the way that this game does well competitive side. But yeah, there would be so many downsides that would happen at the same time. So it's like, I don't think it's fair when people don't take those things into account. And just saying add a tank back, lol, there's big repercussions to that. And I understand tank sucks. Trust me, I understand tank sucks. All right, next one up. Let's go. Samito chimed in, quotes Gale's tweet, and goes, 5v5 will never be peak Overwatch. "5v5 will never be peak Overwatch." And he goes on and says, that said, if the devs are still hesitant about 6v6, I'd be curious to try 5v5 preferred role queue, not role lock, to see if there'd be a sustainable middle ground. I think that would be worth trying at some capacity before 6v6 just for a thought experiment. But this wouldn't work either, Sam. Because if it's not role lock, right? Like, how do you see this working, right? Are you saying, like, you can pick 3 tanks, 2 supports if you want? Or you can pick 2 tanks, 1 TPS, 2 support? Or you could pick 1 tank, 3 DPS, 1 support? Is that what he's looking for here? With preferred role? Like, you could lock in that you prefer to play tank, but that's just a debate to try to get faster queue times? Right? Because we all remember pre-roll queue, don't we not? Peak roll queue or pre-roll queue was loading into a game, and then everyone had the fucking standoff where everyone locked DPS waiting for that one guy to go tank or to go mercy. And you're like, okay, yeah, if you go tank, I'll go mercy. Or you go mercy, I'll go tank. And if you do it, I'll swap. And then they unlock their hero and they hover over it so you can see that they're hovering. They're like, hey, don't make me. And then they go Ana, and you go, I asked you to go mercy, so then they go hog, and it's like, it's like, well, I would support like you wanted. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we didn't go mercy, so I went tank like you wanted, but I didn't go Winston. And you just sat there and played this fucking standoff game the entire time. You know what I mean? And it was asked. Oh, Sam, actually, you're in chat. Okay, Sam, question. Do you you meant to like 5v5 with no role lock, right? Like 3 tanks, 2 support if you want, 2 tanks, 1 DPS, 2 support, right? Is that what you meant? Like, kind of like you could play whatever, but you preferred your role when you locked in? I just want to be 100% sure I interpreted it correctly.
Understandable and very smart. No worries. I've sent the video to hashtag links in case anyone here wants to witness this Delulu tank.
Thanks, miss.
Keep being awesome, flats less than 3.
I appreciate the dono. Much love. Yeah, he's in YouTube chat. That's why you guys are all confused. I just want to be 100% sure, because like I'm trying to look at everyone's perspective today. I want to see everyone's. While I'm waiting for Sam to respond. I don't know if he might have dipped out. I might have missed him. Yeah, you gotta wait like 10 seconds for a response. I forgot. It's the delay is crazy. He might be, you know. Oh, hang on. Not sure. I'd want to talk about it more. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm not like going into like a whole debate today. Basically, you select your role when you queue. Basically, you still select your role when you queue, or roles you're willing to play. Oh, so like, okay, I understand what you mean at that point, right? Like when you queue up, you so like. Well, doesn't that kind of already happen?
Were designed for 6v6 when most of the tanks came out before all queue. Most tanks were designed before there was a limit to how many / few tanks could be on a team.
That's a good point, actually. Thanks for the 10. And well, but we also learned over time though that Overwatch 2 felt the best with 222 originally. You have all the roles locked. You can flex the DPS to off tank. I don't know. I think I know what you mean. Like, so if you like queued in for DPS, you could swap to support if you wanted. Maybe like they go DPS, you go support. Maybe that's what you mean. But if you're like playing open queue kinda, right? At that point, I feel like you just start stacking tanks, kind of like Overwatch 1. I get what you mean though. Yeah. The point is though, is basically, I think if it's not role lock, that creates its own problems, and if it's like a preferred queue but it's not like actually real and you can just swap around, that also has its own issues. But yeah, I think there's a lot to unpack here. I think it's a lot to unpack. Harry's giving me back 6v6 Overwatch and my life is yours. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Sam is very, very, very clearly in the 5v5 court. I think we all know that at this point. So, all right, let's go next. Oh, this is another Sam tweet, actually. At this point, Blizzard should just abandon Overwatch 2 branding. It's unsalvageable, but Overwatch brand is. Okay, that's actually based. I agree with that. I agree with that. I think it's time. It's time. Honestly, it's time. It's time to. That's based. How do you do it, though? That's the question.
Oi.
Back and dip, thanks for 5 months. How do you do it? That's a really hard question. You can't just do it overnight. There needs to be a reason. Re-implement and improve the features like Overwatch 1 LFG. I thought we got a statement that during one of like the dev interviews or whatever that LFG really didn't get used at all. And basically the idea is like, do you want to put dev resources to something that people didn't really use just to have because it was a legacy system? What was LFG? Looking for group. So LFG was a system where you could literally just like ping yourself as like, I'm looking for a group right now, and then players could go in and see like, oh, this player is looking for a group of people to play with right now, and then invite them, right? I used LFG all the time. No, like, okay. Here's the thing. When I say they said it wasn't really used, right? That doesn't mean nobody used it. There's always going to be somebody that's like, oh, I used it before. And it's like, oh, dude, I want to see, you know what? I'm glad you found use out of it. But it's kind of like, how many people actually used it? Did those people actually like make friends through it? Did they just play one game and then instantly leave?
All I'm saying is imagine Maugar plus Zaya.
The 2 men. You stuff like that would have to get reworked, obviously. But yeah.
Overwatch Pocket Edition.
It's the 9 months. It's kind of like, is it worth putting more resources back into remaking a system because people remember it and are like, oh, that was like a fun system, right? Like, or should we make something new that's better, right? Yeah. So that's kind of like, there's other things that it can replace LFG, right? There's Discord servers. people say like console has ways of doing it too. Like, I read like 2 seconds ago that someone said like there's LFG baked into console. I'm not familiar with that. Yeah, there's still stay as a group. You know, there's custom games. Like there's ways to like make friends in the game that isn't like Tinder for Overwatch. It'd be neat
if they added 6v6 in like the arcade mode to have fun with, but knowing the community, they will take a mile if the devs give an inch and it will go downhill from there.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you on that one, actually. Go back to 6v6. I think this is something we still need to talk about. It'd almost be like Overwatch Classic, but you'd keep the new heroes. I think that's very heavily rose-tinted glasses. I don't think that would make Overwatch feel like Overwatch Classic. Aaron not saying 6v6 is never coming back is big. Even though he didn't say it, it would be coming back. He just quoted queue times as the reason for the switch. I wonder if we had enough active players now to have not affect queue times. The language is very important. I don't want to put too much into this because like actually this is almost like a good example of getting an inch and maybe taking a mile. Is I think Aaron is that guy that will sit down and listen to you about almost anything. If he thinks that like it's like you actually are passionate and you have a good point coming in. He doesn't want to ever say like no, we're right, and like fucking stamp his flag in. You know what I mean? But just because he's willing to listen doesn't mean that's like, oh, like there's a like we could do it, we could go back. It's like just because he's willing to listen, maybe, right? Or they're willing to listen doesn't mean we should take advantage of that and like force something through if it's not the right idea, right? Like there's a lot of discussion I think that needs to put into that. Atiro thing the prime, Mr. B thing the prime. I'll give you a good example. Streamer mode, right? I think every streamer agrees that streamer mode needs to be a thing. We all agree, right? Like there should be an anonymity mode in Overwatch. We all agreed on it. We've been pushing them for a very long fucking time for that. And now we're getting it, right? Like now it's coming. We all had to push really hard for a long time to get that to actually be made in the game. And fuck it, I'll tell you. I remember way back at the first summit, I talked to somebody that was very important at Overwatch, more Blizzard side, and I told them about streamer mode, and they basically gave me a roundabout answer and said, well, we can't do it because of this reason, and it takes a lot of dev resources, and it's like, you know, what do we focus on in the game? And I was like, dude, I get it, but like at the same time, this is important. Like it is important for this to exist in your game. Like I know you're like, oh, like well, we got to focus on making new heroes, and you have different teams for that. Don't give me that bullshit, right? And like it took a long time of them pushing to get them to do that. And I think it's something we should be a little bit more united in before we start going hard on it. That's my personal thing. But yeah, I think there needs to be more to be discussed. Let's see. We should mean removing every tank, 2+ dev
what
time.
If Twitch chat and YouTube chat kissed? Fairia blush, we could team up and take down Mr. Strimmer Fairia evil.
He's a little months flare. Which I mean, when we're reworking every tank again for another 2+ years of dev time, it already took them 6 months to rework Hog. Now look at Queen, Ram, and Malga, who are specifically designed with 5v5 in mind. Those abilities can easily be tuned in one patch. I don't agree with that. I don't think it's gonna be easily tuned in one patch, but I also think this is like the low tier bait take where it's like, well, they'd have to rework. Yeah, no shit, they had to rework half the fucking Overwatch 1 heroes. So like, you know, shit, you'd have to go back again.
System,
you know,
or at least 2 LFG systems specifically for teams is mandatory if they want to encourage esports / competitive community at all ranks.
That's not true. That's not true at all. How do you encourage that? It doesn't have to be an LFG system in the game. You could do in client tournaments, which Faceit seems to be trying to do in its own way, where it's like integrated with the client, right? Like there are other ways to do it. There's other ways to do it. But yeah, I understand the point you're trying to make, but I don't think it's that, you know, go hardcore for. You know what I mean? Was there more? I don't want to scroll too much on Twitter's. I saw Sam put more later, but maybe there's more tweets of it. We'll come back later. Let's go next. 6. Okay, I gotta be careful clicking on these next few ones. I think I'm gonna start flipping off and flipping back because I don't know how many replies they're getting. 6v6 was more chaotic / fun because those 2 extra players added more variables in fights. Feels more like a MOBA FPS. 5v5 is more digestible / balances a competitive FPS. Still enjoyable, but 6v6 has the edge for chaos / fun. Whenever the format, I'm locking Roadhog to top 10 anyways. Okay, dude. Okay, relax, settle down over there. Respect the confidence, though. I respect it. But there's like good and bad of that, right? Like, yeah, it's fun as Overwatch players, but you got to remember, like, most of the people that enjoyed that were like, you guys know you guys were actual survivors, right? Like, you could probably put down on your resume, I survived Overwatch 1 from year 2020 to 2022. Like, you know, like, you're an actual, like, refugee, right? Like, most smart people left the game when it went off a cliff like that. We are not part of those smart people. We are fucking stupid. And the best part about the people that were stupid and were here, as I remember everyone else who was stupid and was here. So I know you were there, bitch. We were all there, bitch. You know, so like, we're all fucking, you know, we're all a little crazy up top. So yeah, we say it was more crazy and was more fun. Yeah, we were also like the very few people that enjoyed that. Most people didn't, and they left. So
Overwatch was my quarantine game, so I was too naive to leave. Now I'm stuck here forever.
I think it's 7 months. I just want to say, listen, there's a reason why a lot of people came back, and a lot of people, you know, like, the game is slightly growing again. It's not by a lot, but in the last 6 months, the game, if you look, it's actually kind of, it's kind of upwards trend. And also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but like, Japan is deadlifting our category right now on Twitch. You want to see it? Hold up. Bro, check this shit out. When was the last time you saw Overwatch in the fucking top row? We're in the top row. And there's no drops and no OWCS. This is what it looks like. I'm over here. I don't know who this is. MLJ. Oh, Emong's off for the day. Don't know. Deadlifting the entire category. Deadlifting. So, that being said, Overwatch is slightly growing again. I don't think people have noticed, but it is. That's a good thing. That's a good sign. And I think if you look back and like, yeah, it was fun, it was crazy. There was a reason why we got shit on by every other game out there, because you saw like the double shield, double sim wall, fucking Doom ult going off with 2 windows and lamps and brig rallies. Like, come on, we got to remember that too. All right, next. Another anti 6v6 take, this time from Jake. 6v6 should not come back. 6v6 had a higher team execution ceiling, but few people ever actually used it. Individual mechanics shine brighter than ever before in 5v5, and every player can make a difference without waiting for someone else to do their job first. To me, this is the essence of what makes an FPS game great. At the same time, we have lost the playstyle options, team fighting, and resource management that made Overwatch unique. Do you disagree with this take? Give me a 1 if you agree, give me a 2 if you do not. Of course, chat, gotta give YouTube about 3 minutes. Gotta give them a second. They're a little behind. Now, before I say anything, I want you to think about, in your head, why do you think what you think? I will give my response. I think he's correct and incorrect at the same time, but mostly correct. Few people ever used it. That's true. That's true. When we talk about Rein Zarya, we talk about more than just bubbling your Rein every once in a while. We talk about, okay, I'm going to go for something risky here. Do you have bubble? And so I would do stupid shit sometimes with Emong, right? I would tell him I'm going to try to pin their Rein off the map. I would tell him I'm going for a shatter play, whatever it is. And if I was going to get slept or bashed or shattered first or whatever, he would have bubble waiting to be used. Or what would also happen on like certain plays is he would walk up with me, right? When I go for a play, if he doesn't have bubble. And so he could walk into me and bubble himself on top of me on Rein and save me in certain situations. That was crazy teamwork. That is lost. But the average player didn't do it that often. Like, it was just like, okay, my Rein's walking through choke, bubble, got energy, cool. Walk up, bubble self, cool. Walk up, bubble Rein, cool. Shoot their tanks, cool. And then even on like Winston Diva, it's like your Winston jumped in, but he's not on the correct target, and your Diva just follows him and then just sits there and holds DM until DM's gone. And then once DM is gone, you just start shooting things and don't really pay attention to your Winston that much. And then like you see your Winston die, and then you look at him and go, ah, shit. And then you look back and then you die. And it's like, they didn't totally ever use it, right? They never really used what is top level communication, top level execution. At the same time though, bubbling your Rein like that was fun. It wasn't GOATS level execution where teams won and lost games off of a single cooldown, but it was fun, right? It was a good time. And just because bronze, silver, gold, plat, diamond, even masters players weren't doing it correctly doesn't mean that they didn't enjoy when they did it. So I think he's wrong in the sense that nobody ever used it, because they did use it. It just wasn't optimal. It just wasn't to its fullest extent. I think most players attempted to try to play with their team. And so they would see their teammate pick Winston, they'd pick Diva. They'd see their teammate pick something, they would pick the same thing. But on the opposite end, that didn't always happen. You'd also have people that you picked Winston, your teammate picked Roadhog. Why'd they pick Roadhog? Because they're a DPS player who's off-rolling trying to farm some tickets on Roadhog. Right? So like, you know, there was both ends of it, because you also loaded into a game and you got Hog Ball, and Hog Ball wasn't good yet at that time. You were just fucked. Or you got, let's say you got Zarya Diva, right? And you're like, well, what the fuck, dude? Those games stuck out a lot more. So yes, there was games where you had great coordination and not top level execution, but there was also the shit games too, and I think people forget about those. So I think he's right and wrong at the same time, but overall I agree. To me, this essence will make SPS, individual mechanics shining brighter. I agree with that. I mean, DPS players are probably the most impactful in the game since the new patch. Before that, support was more impactful than anything else. But they were impactful off of mechanics plus ability usage. Now that it's DPS, it's mostly mechanics. But the problem is, though, with Jake's whole take is he doesn't address that tank fucking blows. Right? Like, all of this is about the good of 5v5 that everyone's enjoying, but tank feels shit. So like, though most of the people that are saying 6v6 are because of the terrible tank experience, right? So he's right. This is the essence of makes a great game, and I don't disagree with him. But he's not, like, the root of the problem is tank being fucking terrible. And I'm talking about most players not using execution to its highest ceiling doesn't address that. So, anyways, Jake ready to take on the fight, the 6v6 defenders. Oh, let me see if there's any good replies in here. Oh, he's just going to battle in there. Okay, fuck it, dude. I'm down. Dude, he's swinging for the fences down there. I'm down to watch. I want to at least try it. We never got to play 6v6 with some of these reworks. We don't know what 6v6 with new Restore Hog is like. We want to at least try quick play hacked with a 6v6. Heroes like Queen and Zarya with 2 ally bubble will be wildly broken if they could be played together. Agreed, but those things would need to be reworked at 6v6. But like, that wouldn't happen in a hacked, so he's correct. The soul of Overwatch was lost at roll lock and spat on at the 5v5 announcement. Won't be elaborating, so debate a wall. God, I fucking hate people like that. Great response. The difference tank can make in 5v5 is entirely enemy comp dependent and often requires you playing 4 heroes every match, foregoing ultimates. That isn't really Overwatch, and you'll stand to lose 50% of those games. If your win rate is 50-50, your rank is pretty much reflecting your skill. The differences you make on tank are dealing more damage while using less heal resource, finding the timing to push and finish off weakened enemies or set up kills for DPS, high impact ults. Hold on, I just gotta be careful. Okay, we're good. Basically doing the above two, but better with your ult. The flexibility to counterpick and play well also helps you do these things better than your opponents. There are one-trick tank players at the top rank, so definitely not 100% necessary, though. I don't totally agree with this. He's right. He's right what he's saying, but this isn't also like it kind of like the whole 50-50 thing, like picking on that first is kind of like, well, if you're winning 50% of your games, then you're at the correct skill rank. I don't think that's what they're trying to say. Like, I think they're trying to like say like, even if they're losing 50% of their games or winning 50% of their games, they don't feel like they have an impact, right? And he's right. Do more damage while getting healed less, finding and time and finishing off weakened enemies, right? And high impactful ults, 100%. But dude, doing more damage while finding less heal resource is like literally what Emong talks about as like the play prop hunt, where you hide in a corner and try not to die. And you basically sit there and try to do as much damage as you possibly can, but don't fucking get shot at, right? And it's like, dude, that's not what Overwatch tank always was. And like, yeah, that's what it is now, but it feels terrible. Like, it just feels like shit. You're just a fat DPS that everyone shoots at. You know what I mean? You're not actually tanking. You're just, you get what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. What are you talking about? So glad Flats is discussing this topic in depth instead of refusing to speak on it. I've never refused to speak on it. I said I didn't have an opinion.
And the primary reason is tank cannot make plays anymore unless there is significant skill gap issues or other exceptions.
Thanks for the 3. My take was always that I am not 5v5 or 6v6, even though I've definitely leaned certain ways before, but because both have very good points. It's too hard to say one's definitively. That's not me shying away from it. I even tried to ask Aaron Keller the question. I was respectfully asked not to ask the question. I fucking had it on my list. You guys saw me do it on stream. But yeah, anyways, like, he's right, but at the same time, it feels terrible. It feels fucking terrible. And high impact ults, I mean, yeah, but at the same time, like, what are the ults that you use right now? Like, Malga ult is pretty impactful, but like, Orisa ult's always been kind of shit. Ram ult's like really not that good anymore. It's mostly just used to try to survive. Like, I feel like I use Ram ult as like a secondary life for a second. You know what I mean? It's not bad by any means, but like, I don't feel like if I'm gonna go pop my ult, I'm gonna go get a couple kills. No, I never feel like that. If anything, the only time I feel like that is like, you know, the fight's very, very even, and it feels like they might be pushing me back. I pop my ult, we all of a sudden start getting momentum. Somebody gets a pick or two, and then I can walk. You know what I mean? But I didn't get that pick or two. Someone else had to do that. And if my team doesn't get that pick or two, then, well, I probably didn't do anything. You know, Winston ult, you can still be impactful, but you just melt a lot of times. Diva ults, come on now. Queen, there's a bajillion ways to shut down Queen ult. Flux is still pretty decent, but not unless you're playing Sig Poke versus Sig Poke on certain maps. Like, you're typically only getting 1 or 2 people at best. Shatter is a freaking joke. So yeah, I understand what he's saying. He's not wrong from like a pro perspective, but I feel like that's not how most people feel about the game. All right, let's go next. The reason 66 not to return is that it's hard to play and master. If we want Overwatch to live a long time, we need skill ceiling to be high. That's just not true. So players who want to improve and have the new heights to strive for, you can retain casual players without dumbing down the core game. Dude, people who say dumbing down Overwatch are typically just like not very smart. 0.00001% of people even get close enough to understand the skill ceiling. Pro players are still improving even today. It's a PvP game, so mastering the game to this point is no longer interesting to you equals you're the best player in the world by such a big margin, not a real. Yeah, what's say? By such a big margin, not a real issue. Oh, it was literally just a period. Okay. That's pretty true though. That's pretty true. This is such a joke take from a professional player. Unsurprised it comes from a DPS player, though. Few people ever used it. Maybe to the pro level, but saying most people didn't use it just plain wrong. It is really easy to tell moving as a group 6v6 versus deathmatch 5v5. Totally legit point, but if you don't want to play any other roles, you can play open queue. What? If you don't want to play any other roles, you can play open queue. In the end, you can't balance the game around the niche circumstances of two people who want to duo, only play tank, and want to play ranked solo queue. I don't really understand this response. But if you don't want to play any other roles, you can play open queue. Huh? I don't even think that's what the guy was saying. That's not even what he's saying. He's just saying that it's wrong to say that nobody was ever using the mechanics of having another tank player. And he said play open queue then, if you only want to duo with the tank. No, that's not what he's saying, Mel. The guy was just saying that, like, yeah, like them walking through a choke and then just bubbling their Reinhardt. Yeah, like, is that the best way to play the game? No, but scroll down. Just says, honestly, super respect you for taking some time to respond in a chill way. The solution shouldn't be, though, then don't play a role. It's literally what the game was designed around. Most people should understand their role and be playing with that in mind. It's not about duos, but the teamwork are able to work together. Okay, that's not really anything, though. Okay. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that one. But overall, Jake has typically very good takes, so yeah. Okay, next up. Oh. Jesus Christ, thank God I fucking fill up my water. Six v six should come back. If you're not familiar with this is Iron. He's a good tank player. While individual mechanics on DPS do shine brighter than ever, the cost of this is a lower skilled game that is just a deathmatch. Overwatch is supposedly a competitive game according to director takes, so making the game significantly easier doesn't make sense. How? The devs should not be catering to casuals. People want instant gratification and do not want to put in the work to actually improve. This is just making so many assumptions that it's just, I can't even come close to agreeing with you at the moment. I do think you have a point about the deathmatch thing, and it was kind of cooking at the start, but that's so many assumptions and so many things to, like, you know, it's just, how do I put this? Very recently have they changed their wording to wanting more competitive. Very recently, in the last like 6 months, which is good. Two, I don't think they're trying to cater to casuals. I don't think that's true. And if that was true, it's not anymore true. I think when Overwatch 2 launched, that might have been true, because they were trying to invite in a new audience of people, because those players are trying to catch up to a 6-year-old game. So at that point, you would have a point, but that is not true anymore. So I don't really like that. And also, people want instant gratification and do not want to put in the work to actually improve. Like, I know Iron's not that type of person, but that just comes off as, like, arrogant, you know? And everyone struggles with this. I struggle with this sometimes, right? Where people, like, you say something that you probably could have worded better, and not trying to insult people or sound elitist, right? I struggle with it too. Everyone does. Some people are just better at it than others. And I don't think that that's what he's actually trying to say. I think he's trying to say more of, like, you know, Overwatch 2 is a kind of a hard game that has been changing a lot in the last few years. And if you used to play tank in Overwatch 1, it's very different than playing tank in Overwatch 2. And then even since Season 9, it's very different than, it's almost like Overwatch 3.0, right? And so because of that, it feels like you're constantly having to learn something new, and if you haven't been, you fall behind, and it feels like the game feels different to you. And so I think what he's trying to say is, like, you know, you have to put in the work to keep improving, and most people aren't. But most people don't treat video games as, you know, if I'm not the best player in the world, then I'm irrelevant. And it's like, okay, like, I think I can look at myself as a great example. Is like, dude, I've held top 500 every season since fucking season 13 of Overwatch 1. Am I the best player in the world? No, I don't claim to be the best player in the world. We fucking meme about shit all the time and have a good time with it. But I've always been honest and never had pro aspirations. I want, if I have any time, like hell, I got invited to Eskay's team for the first OWCS, and I said I don't even want to play. I only wanted to co-stream. And she was very adamant about me playing at least one game. And I don't get me wrong, I had a good time, and I'm glad she made me do it. But like, I also enjoy the games in my own way still. At the moment, I'm a little bit burnt out because I played like 800 games of comp this season or something stupid, or more actually. And so like, yeah, at the moment, like, am I playing it as much? Not like this week, but in the couple weeks before, I was having a great time, right? But like, that doesn't, if I'm not the best player of all time, am I not allowed to play the game? That's fucking stupid. Who the fuck thinks like that, right? Anyways, let's continue. The devs know that the 66 format wasn't a balance issue. It was a queue time issue. Kind of cooking. Rollout came from GOATs because Blizzard didn't want to nerf Break into the ground and just remove her temporarily from the game. I actually agree with you. People were quite literally booing when your team went back to spawn on Anubis and went GOATs. This is to Jake. That is actually true. I remember this. Okay, God, I don't want to go on too many tangents. We've been going on so many, but I think there needs to be a little bit of a reference here because it's old, and if you're an Overwatch 2 player, you don't understand. Jake used to play on Outlaws, and Outlaws during the GOATs meta were really fucking terrible on GOATs. Like, they were the worst team in the league on GOATs. And people were begging them to stop playing GOATs and play what they wanted, right? Because they had good fucking players, right? Like, good DPS players. They had good players and other stuff. And so they were trying to play like Junkrat and play Widow and, you know, play like other stuff, like give something a try. But they kept playing GOATs. And then there was a game of Anubis where they were playing, I think it was Junkrat, or some kind of Junkrat comp. And like, everyone was like, yeah, let's go. And then they went back to spawn and went GOATs because it didn't work. And they were like, everyone's like, fuck, stop. Yeah, anyways. Then Blizzard decided to let their comp go on for a few more months. That is true, though. That is actually kind of low-key true. Regarding not losing playstyle options, this isn't true. Ball's playstyle is non-existent, and so is Diva's. You know what? I'm actually kind of with him on that. Diva either feels like genuinely oppressive, or she's like not strong. What is this? What did you just leak me, Guru?
Attack.
Oh, I'm live on YouTube right now. That will 100% DMCA the fuck out of me. That's a good clip though. I'd watch that if you want, chat. Watch that clip if you want. I cannot click on that and open that, because if I do, yeah, I have YouTube stream open too. I know. Yeah, if it was just on Twitch, it would be fine, but YouTube will cook me for that one. Anyways, good find on that. Yeah, that's for anyone who's running the clip. Guru linked is them getting booed. So worth the DMCA? Nah, no, it's not. But I kind of agree with that. I think Diva really does feel either like super oppressive to people or feel like she doesn't do a whole lot. It's just like a different Winston, you know? Just a different Winston. Yo, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Sorry, I'm just been keeping it rolling. If I miss your guys' subs, I hope you don't. I don't mean to, and I apologize. We're just keeping it rolling. Rein is also in a horrible spot at the moment, but when he's strong, he feels too strong. He's right, and this is one of the reasons why I don't call for Rein buffs, and I just admit, like, yeah, maybe I'm just washed up at this point. Because like, if you buff Rein anymore, he becomes broken at the lower ranks. And I had this conversation with Aaron, and he agreed with me, right? You guys remember? And he literally was like, "Yep, that's true. That is true." And also, have I ever said this publicly? I don't know if I ever had. Hot take, maybe I have at some point, just being like tilted midstream. The reason why I don't play Rein very much in Overwatch 2 is because I genuinely don't enjoy it, and I think Rein has been dumbed down to the point where it doesn't feel like it's skill. It doesn't feel like it's skill anymore. Like, I used to have so much joy trying to beat another Rein. Don't have it anymore. If I play another Rein player, I don't even feel anything. I'm like, eh. Don't feel like a puppet. Like, you know, like if they have Mei and I don't, GG's. If they have speed and we don't, GG's. Or if, like, you know what I mean? Depending on the maps, like, oh, they have a Zen 3 miles away and their Rein's not even coming near me. Yep, GG's. Like, it just... You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel the same as it did in Overwatch 1. So there's a reason why I don't enjoy it anymore. Speaking of tank, there's practically no skill expression between tank players on so many of these heroes because of how dumbed down the role is. You kind of just sit there and wait for your DPS to get a kill, or sit there until you build a support ult. The tanks have so much HP, but can't really use it besides holding a corner and soaking up damage. This is true. This is 100% true. And this is how I end up feeding too much, because I get too bored of sitting in the fucking corner for an hour, and I step out and I go, no, I'm gonna go try to kill something, and I get it to 1 HP and then I die. So then there's the counter picking, which is somehow worse in lower elos than the top. Tank players watch Flash car queue tier list and then play rock paper scissors in every rock game. It's miserable. Yeah, my bad on that one. Hey, too many people in this Overwatch community shoot the messenger, man. Hey, I'm just the messenger. That's all it is. I'm the fucking messenger. I'm trying to get my bag, okay? People come in my chat at the start of a new season or at the start of anything, and they fucking spam. And chat, I'm sure Random, when he edits this, is gonna put Twitch chat in it. So chat, I want you to confirm or deny if you are here during those. Also, Sanju. During those streams, do people or do they not come into my stream and they fucking beg me for a tier list? They beg me. They're like, new patch, when's the tier list? Like within the first 30 minutes of a new patch, they come in and they go, hey Flats, when's the tier list? I need a tier list. Can you update the tier list? There's been a patch. Can you update it? And I actually need to do update for the new patch. But point is though, that it just happens consistently. They always come in without fail. They fucking come running, and all I do, dude, is I feed them what they want, dude. They want some juice. I'm just like, okay, you want a little juice? Here you go. I'm just the messenger, man. I'm just the messenger. But I mean, he's kind of right though at the same time. And whenever I played any other games, that's what they do. Like, I went and played Siege the other day, and like 50 people in my chat were like, oh, just watch so-and-so's tier list, so-and-so's tier list, so-and-so's tier list. They made a tier list of all the heroes this meta. And I was like, fuck, dude. That's probably when other people come to our game. They do it. Fuck. Okay. Anyways, the reality is people didn't like double shield and goats, which were both balance issues. Winston, Diva, Rein, Zarya, and Ball anything were enjoyable comps to play and not unfun to play into. Relax on that Ball anything. That is not true. Ball was not that fun. Propagandists always put forth anti-arguments when they know something is an issue. I would love to debate this issue formally. Interesting. Chad, I think I have a little nose hair or like a part of my mustache that's tickling. I need to go grab that real quick because it's driving me fucking insane. Give me 2 seconds, okay? Okay. Whew. Yeah, there was like a little bit of my like upper mustache hair that was like curled into the edge of my nose, and it was fucking kept tickling me, and so I kept going like this, and I was like, what the fuck is it? And that's what it was. Whew. All right, I feel much better now. Yeah. Let me see if there's anything under here. 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 Let me see if the
I'm surprised you didn't have your mods dub these for you since you hate reading.
Shut your fucking mouth. It's the 200 bits. Dude, I fucking read to you guys all the time. I don't want to hear it. Okay, next. Next up is apply. Dude, I feel like I don't see apply give his takes on a whole lot of stuff, but hey, let's go. 6v6 was never a problem. A few hero synergies were the problem.
Tier list toe.
I hate you so much. No one has ever said I hate Rein, Zarya, or Winston Diva. Not a 6v6 problem, just a balancing problem. With a lot of thumbs up. And then he goes, none of the new Overwatch 2 tanks would work in 6v6. Heroes designed for 5v5 wouldn't work in 6v6. Who would have thought? And I think the gift speaks for itself. It's like, oh wow, yeah, no shit. That's kind of a you know, not too antagonizing take, but a good one to have. Next. Oh, interesting. Sure for. Didn't expect this one. Tank players wanting 6v6 back just so they can play Junker Queen, Hog, Zarya / Mauga, and flank as a 600 HP powerhouse like a DPS instead of just playing DPS. The only tank that misses something greatly from 6v6 is Rein, and that's it. That's a spicy one. I think it depends where you sit. I guess it depends on also what he means by missing. Right? Because, for example, Orissa's missing nothing. Right? She's got good sustain. She has the ability to shut down ultimates. She's tanky. Does good damage. Resist CC. But just like Orisa and many other characters at this point, well, her ult got buffed actually, so her ult's not that bad. She's just a numbers character, and like Mauga's another good example of a numbers character, where you just buff the numbers until they break, right? When you look at like certain tanks, you could say your traditional, your Winston, your Rein, your Diva when it was like Overwatch 1 Diva, your Overwatch 1 Zarya, your Overwatch 1 Orisa pre-Sigma, your Overwatch 1 Hog pre-Sigma. They all had synergies or things that they brought to the table, right? In Overwatch 2, it feels like everyone has to somewhat do something at the like everything at once. And by everyone being able to somewhat kind of do everything at once, it ends up being, well, instead of everyone has all these impactful abilities, it's all of these sustain, stand there, try not to do anything abilities. And so that's why like Ramattra block is really strong. Orisa Fortify is really strong. Mauga is with his sustain with his E was really strong. Even still is pretty good. When you play Winston, you play it extremely fast and try to like just get in and try to like make some space before you die, but you're not really actually killing anything, or like you don't see like the Gushui primal blades anymore. Those don't really exist. Sigma is the same thing, but honestly even better, where you just stand in the corner and try not to die and just like, you know, like you just put up your shield for yourself, you suck for yourself, put up your shield for yourself. If someone comes near you, rock them away. But you can kind of do everything, right? And like they're almost two sides of the same coin, Orisa and Sigma, right? Like while Orisa is able to face tank more and play more aggressive, Sigma exists more and pokes more, but they do the same thing in a lot of ways, right? Granted, there's some exceptions like Junker Queen. That's an exception, I would say. But I can see his point. I don't know if I totally agree with it. But I know what his point is, basically like playing Hog, Zarya, Mauga bullshit. Like he's saying that people aren't wanting to go back to 6v6 so they can play Rein Zarya or Rein or Diva Winston. Like they're gonna go back and play these other more fragging DPS like tanks, right? And I guess almost my question to Surefor at that point was, does he have a problem with more of the DPS-y tanks like your Queen, Hog, Zarya, Mauga? I wonder what his answer is to that. Could be yes. And if it is yes, why? Because honestly, I think that's a more interesting thing to ask. Ever heard of double bubble or sig ball comps? Peak 66. This dude said sig ball comps, 2 of the most cancer tanks ever made, and he calls it peak. Yeah, sig ball was terrible. I don't know what that guy's cooking. Okay. Whew. Dan, you guys are making me read a lot today. I did. When I started this, I expected to spend 30 minutes on this tops. How long have we been at this? And then you guys wonder, why haven't you talked about 6v6, 5v5? Because I didn't know this was going to take hours. Jesus. I haven't even gotten to everything yet. I think there's still more stuff today that hasn't even been covered. Wait. Where tweet? Okay. Here's Spillo almost, I very rarely see Spillo have a take that I agree with, so let's see. Not catering to
I personally feel like this isn't WoW, whereas a tank your team supports you. In Overwatch it feels like so much pressure being tank and is just lonely without your off tank.
It's just lonely. Isn't it Spylo? Yeah, I'm in too deep. I ain't going back now. Not catering to casuals doesn't solve 4 DPS. Not catering to casuals doesn't solve tank queues. In ranks other than GM, it was the exception, not the rule, of getting a functional tank synergy, instead of the DPS player who queued for Roadhog, or somehow miraculously getting 2-2-2 prior to Rollhawk. He is correct. He is definitely correct. This first part only is solved in a perfect world where we have enough tank players that actually play tanks, not like DPS players that are just flex queuing for tickets. Basically in Overwatch 1 there was a system where if you queued for all roles you'd get tickets. They were like priority queue tickets, and so people would queue all roles, DPS players especially, get a tank game, play Roadhog, win the game or lose the game. Win the game you got 6 tickets. If you lose the game you got 1 ticket. That way if you win the game you get 6 priority passes. So like, yeah. Many tanks lack the ability counterplay right now. Many tanks lack the ability counterplay right now. Too many tanks lack damage mitigation. Too many tanks haven't had their identity skilled correctly. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I promise you, for every issue you can point out, there was an exasperated... I'm sorry for every issue you can point out that was exasperated with 5v5. That issue is also likely an issue in 6v6. Heck, there are heroes like Echo/Sigma whose identity has improved in 5v5. I would say Sigma for sure, but Echo I'm not 100% sure on. Echo was insanely good in Overwatch 1 for a long time. But she was a little harder to play, so he actually has a good point. I'm not going to argue with him on that one. Maybe a difference of viewpoint, but I don't disagree either. The people that want 6v6 back are usually old pros that enjoy the higher level of synergy between tanks, ignoring that for the vast,
streamer.
and I mean
Thanks,
99% of the population. It wasn't a reality, and Overwatch 2 opens up more individual play and agency than Overwatch 1 ever had. He's kind of right, though. A lot of people that are calling for it are the quote-unquote old heads. Right? But you gotta also remember there's a reason why most of the people that have names in this community are on the older side, is because they've been here the entire time. I don't even know of anyone who started in Overwatch 2 that's like really well known. Every single person I know of that's Overwatch 2, every person that I know that's like known played Overwatch 1, right? So, also, really truly, the simplest argument against 6v6 is that the devs clearly show no interest in bringing it back. At some point, all this would be more productive than more people offering solutions for what makes tank feel bad in 5v5. There really are not enough people who are offering quality feedback on that front. Yeah, actually, it's really hard to argue with him on that one. That's hard to argue with. He kind of cooked. I do think that I'm going to give you my feedback on this specifically. I think many older players especially are just tired, and they feel like they've given feedback for years on balance stuff that never got listened to. Even though the team is looking like they're actually trying to make changes now, I think a lot of people are still like toast, you know, and like they just haven't come around to the idea of like
bongo Derv and bongo. How goes the stream?
Thanks for the 18 months. Good. I didn't know how long that went on for. I think people are just fucking tired, you know? I think people are just tired and they're just like, nah, they're not going to change it anyways, because that was what they've never done for years. But he's right. I think more people should give better feedback, myself probably included. Okay, next. This is your Overwatch's take. People forget every tank in Overwatch 2 simply has more buttons and stats now, and AoE support abilities. It would make tank even worse for the game than Overwatch 1 ever was. Multi-tank Overwatch isn't a shooter game. Add hero bans. This is all over the place. Every tank in Overwatch 2 simply has more buttons and stats now. Sure. I don't know about the AoE support abilities. Yeah, sure, Junker Queen. What else? What are the other AoE support abilities? Malga's E? Yeah, Malga's E, I guess. You're right. Is there any other ones? I also personally think Malga's fucking terrible. Like the worst tank they've ever designed. No, Ram doesn't have... What are you talking about? How does Ram have AoE support abilities? What the fuck are you guys on about? Anyways, yeah. I don't know about that one. It would make tank even worse for the game than Overwatch 1 ever was. Multi-tank Overwatch isn't a shooter game. Add hero bans. Multi-tank Overwatch isn't a shooter game. Add hero bans. Why is it not a shooter game? Why? I don't understand. If you're talking about like double shield, sure. Talking about goats, sure. But removing those aside, I don't see why it wouldn't be. I mean, the more abilities that you would argue are probably more not shooter game like are supports, right? Your Lifeweaver, your Mercy, your Moira, your Lucio. Trying to think if there's any other big ones. Probably those. Would you argue those are probably less shooter games? Brig, yeah, you're right. I would argue those are less shooter games than anything else. So, can't agree on that. Hero bans thing, lots to talk about there, but yeah. Okay, next. ZP chimes in with people don't want 6v6 to come back. Not actually. They want the feeling of Overwatch circa 2016 back. And mistakenly think that going back to 6v6 will achieve that. You'd have to memory erase 7+ years of game knowledge, skill from everyone to achieve that. I see what he's going with. He's right, but I don't think that everyone's arguing that. Hold on, let me see if there's good replies in here. There's a couple decent replies, but so this one. No, many people just want to see 2 tanks per team. No, not even. They just want 2 tanks per team, but also want it to be idealized form where queue times don't become massive and where people play the right tanks per team and not something like Sigma, Orisa, or Roadhog, period. There's a lot of unstated conditionals here. Yes. Okay, he's right. Yeah, he's cooked. He cooked. I was a little bit like, I don't know about that one. But this one right here kind of brought it all back together. I think he's wrong kind of on the ideas like everyone just wants 2016 Overwatch back. Yeah. He's right and wrong on that. And if that was what people wanted, yes, he's right. Then you need 7+ years of game knowledge erased. But I think the reply is what brings it all back. It's like people want 2 tanks per team, but it's like, yes, they want 2 tanks per team, but they also want them to play like ethical tanks, and they want them to play the correct ones and play them together. And not play off meta picks, and they also don't want to wait in queue times for 20 minutes. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, he's kind of right about that. You know, he's kind of right. Yeah, don't look at the trending chat. Just pretend you didn't see it. But yeah, I think he's kind of right. I think he's kind of right on that one. Queue times is one of the biggest things that would probably happen. So he's right. I actually agree with that. And then last but not actually, I think there's a couple more Sam tweets with like a couple other people that he was arguing with. But this is the last one I have at the moment. And Yeedle 6v6 minus 5 plus 5. And I thought this was so funny because I don't know if he intentionally did this, but like the 5v5 people are so smart, but they're not doing 5v5, they're doing 5 plus 5. But the 6v6 people, they're so smart, so they're yelling at the other guy, but meanwhile they're fucking dumb. And then like I didn't know if he actually meant to go that deep with it. I think it's just a typo. Instead of 5 plus 5, it was supposed to be 5v5, or he's just trolling. It could. Yeah, he said it was a troll. Yeah, he's probably just trolling. But I was like, wait, this could go so deep. And I thought it was really, really funny. But yeah, hang on. Mods, did you guys see it? I mean, I guess I could find it myself. I saw some like spicy Sam arguing with people earlier. Is there still there? Hang on. Okay, so then there was this one, which is Sam responding to ZP. It says, it's totally fine if you prefer 5v5. However, the amount of 5v5 defenders who try and tell other people why they prefer a certain format for valid gameplay reasons is really silly. Prefer what you want, all good, but it's always the 5v5 side telling others how they should feel. I don't know if I totally agree with that, Sam. But then ZP responds. I just gotta be sure. You know, there's too many bots on Twitter nowadays. It says, let's be specific. People want 6v6 and where the most fun tank setups are played, and people aren't using 7 years of Overwatch info to make the format less fun. Bringing 6v6 backs will not result in that reality, and that's before getting into systematic issues like queues. Very few people are missing the 6v6 in the way it existed in its last few years prior to the change. And Sam responds, says, yeah, you are right, people don't miss... I gotta be sure. The abandoned state of Overwatch 1, but that's a little dishonest of an argument, no? Way bigger picture stuff in play there. The only tank combo people didn't like was double shield. I can definitely see the queue times argument. That's not true, Sam, though. But a lot of people, especially tank players, like the game better with 2 tanks on the field. I think that second part has some merit, but nah. You're talking in pro Overwatch. There was tons of people that queued in games, got Ball Hog Sig, Zarya Diva, Zarya Winston didn't understand how to play double bubble. Ball Zarya, Diva Hog, Diva Rein, but they wanted a Zarya, so they would get pissed. Diva Ball, Winston Ball. You know what I mean? Like there was times where that stuff happened. And it was just like a loss at the start screen. Then your Overwatch response says, Sam dreaming up reality and defending feelings instead of facts, not science, brother. You're working in wishful thinking on this on every part. People voted for 6 years with their Q selection, and it was never I like tanks. 5v5 tank is far more popular. Stats prove it. The best state of the game of Overwatch 1 was the drought, because it was only hardcore fans getting the balancing they preferred. The only time the community agreed 6v6 worked then, all other times... Wait, it was 6v6 worked then. All of the times it was tank was miserable every format, every hero meta. We should not build a game for hundreds of people who liked/played 2 tanks. Why is this the hill you die on? For you, I don't understand. Very weak points. So before I go into the replies in here, ZP responded to this one and says, there's a fundamental misunderstanding at play you have here, which is that you think that the late stages of Overwatch 1 were fixable when it was abandoned. The gameplay fixes to this problem in Overwatch 1 was literally in Overwatch 2. There weren't other solutions available that were held back. Gonna check just to be sure. And then it goes on. All of Overwatch 2 did is delay to this respect was simply delay a swap to 5v5 until it could be packaged with all other planned changes Overwatch 2 was supposed to have. It wouldn't have been embarked on it wouldn't have embarked on it in the first place if there was any internal dev ideas to make 6v6 work. That's actually very interesting. To put it simply, development hit a collective point where clearly the devs just said, fuck this shit, we can't fix these problems without going to 5v5. It is just an ideal world with no break. The swaps happen sometimes in late 2019, early 2020, as opposed to when they did. Sam responds says, yes, because Orissa's rework could not have happened in Overwatch 1 like Sim, Torm, and Hanzo before her. Come on, man, you can't believe this. Responds back and said, what I'm saying is that the devs thought that they'd continually run into the same reoccurring gameplay issues if they didn't swap to 5v5. In a world with no Overwatch 2, 5v5 gets rolled out years faster. 5v5 wasn't a response to years of no updates of Overwatch, it was planned much earlier. It's kind of right, though. It was. Remember what I was talking about in the very beginning? About how they tested 1-3-2 in Overwatch 1? 1-3-2, 1 tank, 3 DPS, 2 support. This was cooking for years. He's right. All right, let's check the other tweet. Okay. You can't tell me how to feel. Well, I'd suggest that you stop thinking with feelings, actually. I like tank in both games. The fact is nobody played nor liked tank in open queue or 6v6 roll queue. As in statistically insignificant, aka basically no one, actual unplayable format. And then Sam replied, dude, whoa, this kind of cooks. This is really irritating coming from you, considering you brought 0 points to the last debate aside from queue times. Me saying you can't tell people how to feel doesn't mean I'm not arguing with facts. If you read the comment sections, everyone sees through the statements, Frito. He responds back, if people liked it, they would have queued for it, ever. That is the fact. No one agreed on balance, bar 1 month of the drought. That is the fact. You don't have a single point backed by evidence. Not one. You constantly switch from objective arguments with subjective reasoning and then call it fact. When I correctly call this BS, you all responded like I mislabeled the argument. I'm not. This is a bronze tier debate misplay from you. I can't believe, I can explain in round 2 if you'd like. Whoa. We always agree on many points. I meant points we disagree on. Okay, let's see if there's anything else in there. Okay, there's not really anything. Damn, I didn't know it got that spicy this morning. I didn't know it got that spicy. Jesus Christ.
TBH. They seem to put out a lot of unfinished ideas.
Bottom reply.
Launch of OW2, story mode for example, there's been a lot of patchwork with popsicle sticks and crafts glue instead of a solid cement fix. We had a lot cooking, but unfortunately there's a lot more that was undercooked. Hype stress.
Sorry, I just got taken out by the boomer and boomer violence. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Everyone's kind of out of line on this shit. And you know what? This is why I don't want to talk about this. I don't really want to talk about 5v5, 6v6, because, like, it's clearly much bigger at this point than objectively talking about which one felt better. It's more of, like, perfect ideology Overwatch versus reality Overwatch versus who gets to have the best time versus who should be listened to, you know? And it's like, it's just this fucking merry-go-round. And I haven't even said, you know what? You know what's funny? Not a single person has made this point yet. I think I'm going to be the first one to make it. Has anyone stopped to consider that maybe 6v6 isn't actually even playable on the Overwatch 2 engine? Think about it. If you go look at what's required of your PC from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2, it's a significant jump. And if you've ever played those game modes, no, and before you start saying it's playable, think. How many times have we started to watch the Overwatch 2 servers crash, especially with heroes like Mauga, right? Like, for some reason, last patch, every time you Mauga ulted, there was like a very small chance the server would crash, right? Have you ever played those game modes like One Dad, 11 Kids? How often it crashes in custom games? Have you played it? And I want to go one step further. You know Overwatch 2 is on the Switch, right? Have you played Overwatch 2 on the Switch? Sandra, are you still here? I remember you played Overwatch 2 on the Switch, and you were fighting the little blue dots that appear when you spawn. There was no character models. You were watching dots jump around on the screen. And you want to add 2 more connections and 2 more players with abilities? It actually might not be doable. And I don't know how that works. I don't know how the business of that works. But what happens if they update a game to the point where a console cannot handle it? Is there a legal issue there? Right? So what happens in a world where all of a sudden a bunch of players, because don't forget, Overwatch 2 is a free-to-play game. Let's be honest with ourselves. Overwatch 2 being a free-to-play games, most free-to-play games attract especially a lot of a younger audience, kids with no money. Let's tell it what it is. It's kids with no money. And even beyond that, it's a lot of people in other countries, right? Like, buying a video game in America is expensive, right? A $60 video game, $70 video game is pretty expensive. If you live in another part of the world where your country's currency is worth a fraction of the US dollar, and they do not have region-based pricing, how fucking expensive is that? It could be a month's worth of salary. Like, Boger told me how much games for him in Bulgaria cost versus here in America, right? Like, currency thing, and it blew my fucking mind, right? So how many players have come into Overwatch 2 now, and they play the game because they now have access to it because it's free, and all of a sudden, let's say they're not on like the traditional consoles of Xbox and PlayStation. Let's say they're on Switch or they're on PCs. What happens if their PCs just can't even run the game anymore because we went to 6v6? Or their Switches can't run the game anymore because we're on 6v6? You just threw out a bunch of players for a new format that might not even solve the problem. What if that's actually what if that's part of it? Have we even thought about that? I feel like nobody's brought that up. You know, do you take away a game from a bunch of people that because you want to bring back the 2-tank experience that might not even actually solve anything? And to say not my problem, I think is just like, it just kind of like, it shows like you kind of lack some empathy, you know? I feel like it's a bigger issue at that point. Obviously, I think there's limits, right? Like, you know, every game shouldn't be fucking Candy Crush level. You can run it on your phone. I get it. But like, Overwatch has been out for 2 years, you know? That's 2 years of time and money you may have invested. And it's just gone, just toast, right? So, and let's be clear, there isn't a switch at Blizzard headquarters that you can walk over to and go, beep, and it just goes back to Overwatch 1. Like, I don't even know if it, like, let's say hypothetically, like, gun to the head, they're like, you have to go back to Overwatch 1 right now, flip the switch. Can they? I don't even think it's possible. I don't think they even have the infrastructure anymore. It's probably all gone. Because I remember back in Overwatch 1, they used to talk about certain heroes like Diva being impossible. And you remember Marbler made videos about this? Marbler made videos about like the spaghetti queen of Overwatch and how like her code was so insane versus other heroes, right? Those people who made Overwatch 1 are gone. Like, Overwatch 2 is completely a new dev team from the ground up. Like, I don't even know how many people from Overwatch 1 are still even there. Like, could they even flip the switch? Probably not.
5v5,
so,
but the DPS get the short end of the stick this time.
Could you
they
even
want 5v5 so bad, make them deal with hating life.
I don't understand. Like, there's more things I think people have to take into account. And so for that, I'm still very much in the middle between 5v5, 6v6. If the only thing about 6v6 that I would enjoy is I get to play with Emong again. That was the only thing that I'd get to enjoy. Other than that, though, yeah, tank blows. I'm not. Tank has just not been the same. And you know, a lot of people are like, just play a different role. Yeah, maybe that actually is the answer. Maybe in the future when I start to play a little bit less Overwatch, because I'm sure that day will come, right? Maybe I just play more DPS and some more support and just have a good time with it, and that's okay. Maybe that's the play. But at the same time, though, I think there's other things that people don't take into account, and I think people are way too fucking entrenched on like, I'm right, as opposed to like finding the solution or what's correct, right? Because I think for issues like this that are so complex, you can't take that stance. I think you can take that stance on something like, I don't know, Malga shouldn't get buffed because he's actually very good at the moment, just low-key slept on, and most players haven't figured it out yet, right? Like, that's something I feel like you can sit there and confidently say and be like, nah, like, you're just wrong for that. But something like 6v6, 5v5, where we have years of data and years of things to talk about there, and that's a big decision for the game that can't be reverted overnight. Can't make that decision too quick. Can't do it. So, I remain, as I was before, in the middle of the 5v5, 6v6 debate. Okay. Cool. That was a little bit longer than I expected. That was a little longer than I expected. I didn't expect that to go on forever, but hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. I'm sure Random or whoever is gonna have a great time with that one. So Quito, I think it's 33 months.
The practice range, home sweet home.
True.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
No separate cards with 5v5 or 6v6. You're just splitting your queue times in your player base. A lot of the big talks around it right now is already queue times, so yeah. Fuck you.
Quit making yourself an easy target.
Go 2-4-2, keep the buff supports. Yeah, you didn't hear my point at the end, I think. Yeah, I got some codes for some content, but I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of draining. That was kind of draining. Queue times are already bad. Super sometimes waits 45 minutes to play. Yeah, but you understand why Super's waiting 45 minutes to play is because he's like top 10, right?
Chew on
Like that's fucking normal. That happens in almost every game. Where is he? Oh, he's actually not top 10 right now. Not top 20. Am I fucking blind? Oh, no. No, he didn't fall this low, did he? Oh, he did. Rank 33. Yeah, but I think rank 33 is still pretty high. Rank 33 is still pretty high, considering half these people are probably camping. Or at least these ones. I don't think this has moved. I don't think this has moved. This isn't moved. This is new, actually. This hasn't moved. This is barely moved. Every game he wins is expected, and every game he loses is reversal. I mean, do you remember when I was top 30? That's what happened to me. Remember we were playing? Dude, it was awful. It was actually rage-inducing.
Double kill.
But yeah, I mean, like, when you're talking like top 50, those games are very different. That's very, very different. The average player doesn't deal with that.
Double kill.
You know what I mean? It's so funny because he gets pissed. Oh, it's super? It's the queue times? I mean, yeah, it's annoying.
You don't know when to quit.
Yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, link me, Snake. Link me really quick. Have Super's viewers just watch him to go get pissed, so it's content. I feel like that's become the theme. Not just Super. I'm saying like a lot of streamers. It's in Hot Topics. Okay. Yeah, we gotta use Hot Topics more. There's no timestamp. Oh, you typed it at the top. 11940. For Shed, just 99% flamium. I don't know how he does it. My mental would crumble. Dude, you really have to be like built different. So I have a lot of respect for Super in that sense. Because like I think I could fucking kill it if I had the same mentality like that. But the Bostonian in me doesn't shut off when like someone says some dumb shit. I have to say something back. Okay. All right, is this it? A 11940. So like we're 4 seconds off. All right, what is this? I like Pirate Software. He's actually really cool.
It doesn't work in the long run because these games will eventually die, you know.
Yeah, I agree. But the thing is, what's annoying? I played Overwatch before. You guys know the Overwatch story. Overwatch is utterly bad now.
I know. Yeah. It's sad.
And the thing is, like, it's just jumping from games where it feels like you just have the game right here. You have the perfect game, but it feels like it's mismanaged and not well. Like you have let's just say you have a beautiful Ferrari down the fucking on the street, right? But like you kick it every time you see it, or you slam the doors or whatever, right? And then it breaks, and you're like, oh no, what happened, dude? You know, that's what it feels like.
I agree.
You have like a perfect product here, but it feels like it's not well taken care of, and it sucks from a player point of view that I'm sitting here, I'm like, I can't do anything. Like this game is almost perfect. It has like all the things that I don't know. It has like all the good things and all the qualities that people ask, but
yeah,
in reality, it just feels like
it was like a little thing about Overwatch. But do they talk more about it or no?
You know?
It sounds like you're grieving for a game that you know is dead, and I understand that feeling, like 100%.
Dude,
like a lot of people felt that way when Overwatch 2 kind of shit the bed. And I felt that way because I was there when we were working on Overwatch 1, right? And I did a bunch of security stuff for Overwatch 1 before we launched, and it's an awesome game. And I hate where Overwatch 2 is today. So I get it. It's super good. It's
so bad.
It sucks. Yeah. It's awful.
So wait, does he go in and say why he doesn't like Overwatch 2 today? I'd be curious.
It's like they ripped the soul out of it and they didn't understand why it worked in the first place. Like it's a very common thing.
You hear that a lot. You hear they ripped the soul out of it. You actually do hear that a lot. And like in a weird way, I kind of understand what they're meaning, but you can't put it into words. It's like one of those things that where you think with your emotions as opposed to your brain. Because anytime where I felt like that, if I was challenged on the opinion and asked to put it into words, I couldn't.
The thing we always have to remember about this stuff is games are made by people. And when those people leave, the name is still there, the game is still there, but it doesn't mean it's the same game. Because those people aren't there anymore. The people that made it great in the first place don't exist at the company anymore. And they made it good in the first place, right? The best example I have for this is like Hearthstone when it launched. Amazing game. Awesome as shit. Cool.
So is that the end of the Overwatch stuff? Or is there more?
Agreed.
Right? Ben Brode was the game director for that game. He was the lead game designer, game director for Hearthstone. He actually left Blizzard.
That's it? Okay. I mean, part of it might be because he worked there, right? And it's like... I mean, I could kind of feel that with like some of my Overwatch League stuff, right? Like when I used to work in Overwatch League, all the people that I knew after I got let go basically either quit or like left like within the 6 months, and you could tell like how different the team like interacted with like the public, and like a lot of events that they used to did like just like stopped, and it was like, well, they stopped all this stuff because they didn't have the people to do it, right? But I don't totally agree that. Like, I understand what he probably means by it. But Overwatch is just different now. It's a different game. And I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. Overwatch was fine until they decided to make Overwatch 2. And it was a risk that did not work out. And so now, like, just like any time in life, if you make a big risk on something and you fuck it up, it's going to take a long time probably to get back on your feet, right? And I think Overwatch is doing a good job right now of getting back on its feet. But God, this is why, like, I really wish I got to maybe ask Aaron or whatever. Like, do they have a plan to how to deal with, like, people like, you know, like him that have that opinion? Because, like, you're never going to change their opinion if that's how they actually believe. But I also don't think the product is the same thing that since probably when they played, right? And it's still very recent. You got to remember, like, a lot of the changes that have been happening are in the last, like, 6 months. And 6 months in the grand scheme of things is fucking nothing. The 6 months is fucking nothing. Especially in this industry with, like, yeah, shit can change instantly, but not with a game being improved upon. Like, if the game just launched, yeah, that's your opportunity. But 6 months is not enough to flip people's ideas or how the game is looked at. But in the last 6 months, the game has grown. It is very, very slowly. Actually, fuck it, you might not believe me. Let's do some. Let's do. This is obviously taken with a grain of salt, chat. I don't have access to Overwatch 2 numbers. Right? Like, why would I have access to that? I don't have access to that. So you gotta use what we've been given with, right? Here is a stat line of the last 180 days of Overwatch on Twitch, right? Here's the last 180 days of Overwatch. If you notice something about this trend is, and we've looked at this about every 6 months or so. I always make a video and I come back to when we talk about it. And I think I made one back in August. And it said that Overwatch was sustained. Like, it wasn't dying. And everyone was like, oh, Overwatch is dying. I'm like, no, it's not dying. It's just not fucking growing. Like, it's stuck. That's not true anymore. And that was with drops at the time. Remember, drops have been going in Overwatch 2 since the start. So can't blame it on just drops. Can't blame it on drops. But since this October, November area, the line is slanting up. And not just peak viewers, but average viewers. Average and peak are both on the upswing. If you go 365 days, this line isn't as big, right? And if you actually pull it back, hang on, let's do this. Oh yeah, there's the big boy. Let's pull this back to, let's say September. I want to go to August. All right, here's August, right? Here's Overwatch 2 launch. Obviously, it's huge. Let's fast forward a little bit. November of 22, past Overwatch 2 relaunch. Look at this fucking line. It's just straight downhill. And we all knew this was straight downhill, right? If I pull this back to like January, we know this. This area right here is the fall off. Right around February, right? So let's pull the chart in a little. A little more. A little more. A little more. That's about good. Yeah, that's about good. So about February, right? So about February 23, if you look at the bottom line, which is your average that's not affected by drops, it was declining or average. Like the same, right? From August of 2023, which is when they released Season 6, like PvE, to February of 23, which is about after the hype of Overwatch 2 died, about the 3 or 4 months of hype. The game was slowly either stabilized or sliding downwards, ever so slightly, right? I'm actually going to pull this back a little bit to August 9th, so it doesn't include the beginning of the new season. Actually, let's do August 6th. Without the beginning of drops at the start of Season 9, it's declining, right? You can see it. Pull it in more. It looks sustained. Season 9 launches. You get the big spike with drops. And then about in September or so, you'll see that it's still the same. Still the same. Nothing's changed. From March 21st, 2023 to September 9th, 2023. There's no big events that are happening. The game is not moving. It's not dying. It's not growing. It's not dying. Right? But now look at the last 6 months. I'm going to pull it forward, and I'm going to go to where I was in September. Say September 29th. And now all of a sudden it's on an upswing. It was the big upswing from World Cup, right? You turn on light mode and can't see clearly. I don't even know how to turn on light mode on fucking Sully. No. Oh, down here. I'm sorry, dude. We're going back. I'm sorry. I can't. My eyes can't do it. You can see it, like both the average and the peak has gone up. Now let's skip past November, right? Let's skip past November, which is when BlizzCon happened. And even with the giant peak gone, I would argue that the slopes have actually started to go up anyways. Now, granted, again, somebody can come in and say drops, but it's more than that. We're getting backpacked by Japan. Dude, Japan is fucking rocking right now for Overwatch. I mean, I checked earlier. I don't know if it's still going to be like that now. I'll check again right now. They might have got off for the day. Oh God, where are we? Dude, it dropped. Look at how far it fucking dropped. They got off for the day. It's gone. Yeah, look at, they're all gone. There's one left. They're all gone. That the category was up over 60 or 70. What was it earlier? Was it 60 or 70,000 or something like that? 70,000 earlier? Dude, Japan is fucking rocking for Overwatch. And I'm not saying like, you know, obviously we're in the West, like it doesn't, like we don't see that very often, but the game is making a small comeback, little by little by little by little. And I think that should be applauded, and we should want it to keep growing. So I know everyone's arguing about 5v5, 66 and all this other stuff, but there's also other stuff that like we could look at right now and be like, that looks good. Because even if you write off the peaks in here, of like the drop peaks, right? Like, look at, you can see it. Drop peak, and then it's drops are gone right here, right? Drops are gone. Drops are only here for a couple days. Drops are gone. And then this is OWCS, 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 OWCS. That's why it's so high for these. But like this is OWCS. Plus, when it's like OWCS in Japan, they co-stream it. It goes crazy. NA OWCS plus co-streams the last week have been good. Like, this is not, like, those streamers aren't getting drops. Like, these aren't, like, there's more to it than that. And so things are pushing upwards, which is a good sign. So, anyways, I don't know how we ended up getting onto this. Somebody asked about something with Overwatch. But for the people that think Overwatch is dying or it's bad or it's whatever, like, yeah, the game's not perfect. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not perfect. But what about YouTube viewers? Are there people watching on there, like live streams and YouTube view counts? I don't know if Celino tracks that, if I'm quite honest. YouTube's weird with stuff. But I can at least tell you my own personal experience. My own YouTube streams have grown a ton. Am I allowed to show my own YouTube stream stats? Probably not. But right now on YouTube, we're sitting at about 1,250 concurrent viewers. And it's down quite a bit from earlier. We were at like 1,500. If I'm quite honest with you, pre-season 9, every time I streamed on YouTube, it was like 400 to 500. So it's more than doubled in that time. Avril has a tweet that shows Japan numbers. Really? Can you link me? I'll go look for it too. I probably can find it faster.
I feel like this game gave me Stockholm Syndrome and I play
how long
less
ago was
every
it?
day. Mostly just stay plugged into the community through the good feels from content creators like you flats.
Oh, here it is. Oh, I see it. Overwatch category deadlift from Japan. 131,000 viewers. When is this? March 23rd? So what, 2 nights ago? This is at 11 a.m.? March 23rd, 2 days ago at 11 a.m. Deadlift. Actual fucking deadlift. And this is the only drops that exist is on the main broadcast. There is no drops for the category at the moment. So if you sit there and you say, well, drops, no. Japan backpacking the entire scene at the moment. Gotta respect it. Gotta respect it. It's funniest the biggest Overwatch gets is like 6 a.m. Yeah, but that should go to show you that it's not just America. It's not just NA America, you know? There's people around the world that love Overwatch, and they might even like the current format, you know? Is 26k people playing on Steam alone right now? But Steam's not a great one, because most people play Battle.net, but I wonder if that would actually also show improvement over the last 6 months. Let's see. Okay. So, let's see. Overwatch 2 launches. Where is it? I gotta go back a year. I go back a year? No? Hello? 0810. Beautiful. Okay, so Overwatch 2 launches right here. Well, actually, it doesn't go back to the launch day, but it was August 10th, 2023. So this is when it launches. Over the months, if anything, doesn't really grow. If anything, probably declines. Over time, it's not looking like it's really changed a whole lot. If anything, it went down. But right here it is. Wait, here it is. Look at it. This is what I was talking about. This little area between February 9th, February 11th, 12th. The 12th is when the game launched, or season 9 launched, right? That's a huge peak. That's the same as, actually better than any peak that it's previously had. So it peaks out higher than it's ever peaked at sorry, I guess it did peak out higher at the start of Overwatch 2 when it first got downloaded. 38,000. Then the next day it still holds. Then it goes back up to 40,000, which is a new high again. Granted, removing the one way back here. 37, 39, 30. Yeah, it's been significantly bumped up since this time. Oh, new peak actually over here at 43,000. Look at the months under the chart. Oh, lovely. So from August is when it launched. Big drop, slowly climbs up, marginal difference, goes back down marginally though. But this is like when the game was like not doing too hot. Like it was a couple months between BlizzCon and February. February has another big boost, and in the last 30 days it's still boosting. It's still going up. So, I mean, Steam Charts, again, is not a very reliable source here, but it does confirm our previous data with, like, Twitch viewership and whatnot. Like, just using the stuff we have at our disposal. The data does align that it looks like it's gone up, right? So, I don't know. People seem to be enjoying this season. More people are playing it again. And I think it is a bit on the upswing. So that aligns with kind of what my thinking's been. The main thing is it recovered from the dip and maintained it. Yeah, true.
Double kill.
Co-streams on OWCS probably helped. Well, that was Steam numbers, not stream numbers.
Come and get it.
What about the changes in the real game? What about them? There was tons of changes season 9. What are you talking about? Don't really care about viewers. Okay, well your question made no fucking sense. So I get you. What, but you... Dude, just mindlessly saying, what about changes in games? Still broken. That... What? What am I talking about a fucking wall? What are you talking about? I'm not in your head. Please. You gotta articulate a little. No, they're not trolling. I bet they're serious. Good for you because you're a streamer. Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe they are trolling, actually. It's like negative context. He means player count, not viewer count. We just looked at Steam, though. Like, that Steam was player count. I care about play game. Hello? Disney things in 3 months. I appreciate it.
Why duck, why duck, why duck, why duck, why duck.
I care game stare.
Double kill.
Z cooking in 34 months. I appreciate it. Thank you.
What kind of potential Rein rework do you think would
I'm
make him
not
a bit
giving
more
nothing.
viable?
Nope. I don't really speculate stuff like that. There's no point, if I'm honest. I am not a hero designer. Yo! I called paying this thing with 10 tier 1 gifted subbies. I appreciate it. Check. Show some love. The 10 gifties. I appreciate it. Save 10 people from the ads. Much love. Also, you guys donoed or subbed or anything and I missed it. I hope you know I do apologize. That was not my intention. It really wasn't. There was a lot to talk about. And we were kind of locked in. Okay. Oh, this looks good. Okay. Kind of been a while since we did one of these. Been a long time since we did one of these. So chat, I think it's time. Today's a content farming day. I got a juicy one. Clouds, PC, Bronze 1, support. Lucio, Kiri, Alari, Hollywood, 29 fucking minutes. Been bronze for quite some time now. Can't seem to rank up to silver in support at all. Game went on for quite some time with 6 rounds. I lose most games I should win due to my teammates giving up or just selling in team fights. Not the selling, dude. Yo, FM Dumplings, thanks to 5 gifties. I appreciate it. This is their profile that they sent to us. I have a feeling this would also be bronze if they played more games. Just a small feeling. Scooter, thank you for the 5 gifties. I appreciate it, but dude, Dumpling, thank you again for the 5 gifties. Appreciate both of you. Much love. Yeah, typically, how do I put this? Typically, when people say that, they're pretty wrong. So let's go find out for ourselves. These are always my favorite, because then I can be like a little bit more like harsh. Because like, you know, it's always my teammates, right? So like, surely you're playing at an optimal level.
Hey!
What in the world?
I draw the chariot. Whatever you're after,
Okay.
get it. You have a band-aid?
Who exactly do you think I am?
Is someone who carries band-aids?
Skin check?
Guess not.
This is way better. This is like a B. You think they just sit here the entire time?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
Attackers incoming.
Okay. Interesting. Where are you going? What the fuck are you? Ain't no way. Did your brain fucking malfunction? I imagine these are the same people who fucking come on my chat and spam some nonsense, or go on Reddit or Twitter and fucking scream about something under the sun. Brother, what the fuck am I watching? What? Dude, did your controller disconnect? Did your brain disconnect? Dude, I was like, all right, I'll let the healing at a spawn, just healing at the enemy team go whatever. And I was like, well, I was going to give you a tip that you probably shouldn't go over here. You could play the corner over here and just like heal your team as you walk through if you really need to. You could really TP to a teammate if you need to, but there's no way you should die, right? Like you can get by. It's no problem. And then what in the fuck am I supposed to do with this? You look at the ground, you Suzu, and then your brain fucking disconnects and you stand still and die. Hello? What am I supposed to do with this? I can't work with this. I'm sorry. I could probably end this right now and just cut it short and go, yeah, I promise you it's not your teammates. That is the worst fucking Kiri gameplay I've ever witnessed in my entire existence, and it's not even close, and I've watched a lot of shitters over the years. But we have 29 minutes of this potential type of content, so no fucking way am I giving that up.
That was interesting.
Okay. You know, you probably could have TP'd there. It's only on a 6-second cooldown. I need to break down for you what just happened in this person's brain. Watch this. You'll see it. They're gonna go to TP to this Moira. The Moira fades, and my guy got lost, and he's looking in the ceiling. Must have faded up the elevator that's here. Well, they're gone. Don't know where they went. Oh well. And then the look back right there was to just check. Oh, hey, they came back now. Okay, wasted Suzu on absolutely nothing. The guy was getting hit by a Winston Tesla, and you can't out-hear a Winston Tesla on Curie? Okay, so this is just standard heal bot gameplay. Okay, TP into the enemy team, get stuck on a fucking wall, climb up the wall. Hello? Dude, who's home? Okay, so clearly you TP into a shit spot, right? Boom, you're like, oh, this isn't where I meant to be. This is bad. If they had the mechanical skill of somewhat greater than a fucking almond, you probably die here, right? But luckily, though, it's a Mercy who's trying to Glock you from behind the cart, which, by the way, what in the fuck is this one doing? But luckily, then it's just an Ana, because the other two are looking at nothing. So your decision-making process, instead of going, oh, shit, I'm safe again, is to instead, and let me get sure I get this right, is to look at them, freak out, try to heal them, miss every fucking paper on the heal, then climb up the wall, break the wall climb, look down, somehow hit the top of the lamp thing just so you fall a little bit slower, and then walk back in. And then walk behind the wall and go, safe. And then come back, TP back in again, immediately Suzu. Right. Bravo, bravo. Oh, wait, the rest of my team is dying right now? Yeah, that's not my problem.
My ultimate is almost charged.
It's like you gave yourself a pat on the back before the fight even finished, and you haven't thrown like a single kunai. Why even play? You get bored? I feel like you just got bored. My guy's got like what? Like give or take probably about 580, 600 HP, and the entire enemy team is dead. Yeah, you know what you need? A Suzu. Here you go. Now I'm gonna stand still. Luckily, you're playing in bronze, and that guy's also got the mechanical skill of somewhere around a walnut or an almond, who knows. But yeah, probably don't stand there. Put the phone down. I promise you didn't get any Tinder matches. Let it go. All right, so we're gonna stand here. Slap Mauga in front of an Ana. Maybe I should stand here and wait to see if they nade my Mauga so that I can instantly Suzu him and cleanse both the abilities. Nah, I'm gonna TP to my Sojourn and instantly Suzu the ground. Luckily, it's fucking bronze, and they didn't anti the Malga, but Jesus Christ. Okay, maybe throw a kunai or two. Might be nice time. Now's a perfect time. Everybody's full HP. Nobody's in danger. Yeah, just heal the Winston, dude. You know what? I wish this happened in my games. I wish the enemy team tried to heal me more, because you know what? I need healing, man. I respect it. Thank you for healing that poor Winston. And dude, listen, I wouldn't be going so hard on you if you hadn't said, and I quote, "Game went on for quite some rounds. I lose most of my games. I should win due to my teammates giving up or just selling in team fights." Brother, if you were on my team, I'd give up too. How long it took you to realize this Winston's not on your team should be studied. How long did it, why did it take you it took you like 6 or 7 like almost a full second. Actually, you know what? We're gonna back it up. We're gonna actually back it up. We're gonna see if it took at least a full second. Hold on. I need to see how long it took. Okay, so that guy's dead. You haven't even started healing yet. So we're at 244. And you're gonna stand there, throw every single goddamn paper at the Winston's looking at you. Still haven't realized it yet. Okay, now you realized. So what, a full second, almost probably 2? To realize that that guy ain't on your team? I don't know if that's your teammates selling. Okay? That ain't your teammates selling. Okay, so now you have a Kitsune Rush. They're playing really aggressive. Their Winston just jumped in. That's a perfect opportunity to pop Rush and let your Malga absolutely fucking melt his ass. But no, instead, you decided to start throwing the first kunais you've thrown in the entire game and try to start healing the Malga through the wall. First off, you need a tip, because I just realized you don't have it on. Go into your settings. Fuck. Someone's gonna have to give me the time. Go into your settings. Go into controls. Go onto Geary. Don't say I never did anything for you. And turn off toggle healing of Fuda. That way you can throw 1 or 2 or 4 or 6 or 8 papers. You don't get stuck in the entire animation. Okay? Sound good. All right.
Hey, Flats, 6 months already?
Yo, thank you for the 6 months. Appreciate it, dude. All right, where is this monstrosity? All right, we skipped ahead. Okay, we're right about here. Dude. Do you not realize what you look like here? Hold on. Let me give you a fucking great example. All right, you're the enemy team, right? Watch this. Is this not the juiciest fucking kill you've ever seen? Akiri going, la-da-da-da-da, la-da-da-da-da. What's going on over there? And then you... Wait, how did you... Wait a minute. You had your buttons when I left you. Wait a minute. What did you do? You have both your buttons. Hello? Any Suzuers? Any reaction time a little bit faster, maybe? Suzu the ground? I mean, you probably still would have died, so I'm not going to be too harsh on you, but Jesus Christ. Hey. Wake up!
I licked my wounds. Let's go.
Anyways. You can TP back. There you go. This guy watched one CarQ video and showed fucking where he TP'd through and Suzu'd the ground, and then just that's all he does now. That's all they fucking do. Stop wasting your most powerful cooldown in the game on literally nothing. Yep, you keep healing the enemy team. I'm sure they could really appreciate that. God, you need that setting turned on though, because you're just... That might go down as quite possibly one of the worst Kitsune rushes I've ever seen in my entire gaming history. What in the fuck did I just witness? Did you just Kitsune rush into the cart the opposite direction? What? Okay, first off, I thought that the carriage was gonna block it, so you probably got a little bit lucky there. Okay, it wasn't that bad. You're lucky. I thought it went. I thought it got fucking completely smoked, so it wasn't that bad. Yeah, but like, here's a tip though. Don't Kitsune rush to your team. Kitsune rush towards the enemy team a little bit more, so that way you can advance, not run backwards. Because like, if the team had any type of I know how to play the games, they would have just backed away. Holy shit! We got our first kill. Let's go. I'm gonna kill you. Yo, get off your phone. Stop typing. That wasn't too bad, actually. Stop typing. Pissing me off. Oh, I thought it was going to be a Suzu, dude. I'm not going to lie. Don't you dare. Almost. I was this close to giving you a compliment. Hey, wouldn't that have been a nice time to have a Suzu right there? That would have been a great time for it, huh? That would have, you know, that would have been a pretty textbook time to have a Suzu right there. That would have been nice, wouldn't it have been? And maybe TP away instead of shooting the ground. Yeah, there you go. Luckily, they fucking can't hit the broadside of a barn. Hey, you're probably not safe there. You probably shouldn't turn off your controller. Oh, okay. Okay, you know what? I respect it. I respect it. You know, maybe hit the aim trainer a little bit, but I get it. I've been there. Sometimes it doesn't click. Hey, you know what? This is better. This is a little better. Hey, you know what? You know, the mechanical skill needs a little bit of improvement. But other than that, though, yeah, no, hey, it's a little bit better. You're also missing a healing that is auto aim, which is impressive, but yeah, turn on that toggle setting for you, dude. That'll do wonders. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. Okay. Wow, ambitious, but probably winnable. Okay. Hey. Okay. Hey, that wasn't too bad at the end. That you know, just. The problem is, though, is you probably remember all of those moments, and you're like, oh my god, I'm popping the fuck off, and you don't remember the 19 times you were spinning around in a circle in the middle of the open.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Yeah, that's the moment they remember for the carry, for sure, 110%. So, it's... Just fucking turn and heal him one time. You don't gotta Suzu him every time the fucking wind blows. Wow, look at that time. He was 1 HP. That guy was 1 fucking HP, and you were gonna go to Suzu him. You really went to Suzu the guy at 1 HP, and it was kind of a good idea because holy shit, he almost died. Look at this. Wait for it. Hold on. It's like right here. Wow, this would have been a great time to have a Suzu, and you even recognized it.
Like a gentle rain.
But you don't have it because you press the button every time it comes up. You get bored.
Flats, can you pause the stream for a moment?
Yeah, I got you.
My monitor gave out and refuses to turn back on when it realized there's 20 minutes left of this game.
Okay. Hey, let's just charge the Doomfist up. Why not, right? I'm sure that won't kill nobody. I'm so glad it was you. Oh, your Ash died and you didn't. Never mind. Hey, that was actually a good Suzu. That was actually a good one. Hey, you know, don't forget to be able to mix in a heal. Hey, if you haven't heard, if you haven't been told before, you can heal once and then throw a kunai. Heal once and throw a kunai. Heal once, throw a kunai. And that way you can mix it in. And you don't actually lose any heal time. It's 2 kunai actually? Oh yeah, I forgot they slowed down how fast you could do it. Is it actually still 2? It was 2 for a bit, but I thought they undid that. Is it still 2? I remember she got a bunch of changes to her healing. I lost track. So it's actually 2. 1.5. I'm gonna say 1. Let's just say 1 to make it easy for the guy, okay? Like we're gonna say 1. All right, what happened here? Sorry, I wasn't paying that much attention. I was talking to chat. My bad. Okay, so this is pretty good. Fighting the Doom. Yep. Honestly, I would have just kept fighting the Doom. Your Moira got it. It is fucking impeccable that you are managing to miss an auto aim healing ability. Like, this is a generational performance. Okay, so again, let's see what we got here.
Can't believe
We got another
27
fucking
months
whipped
store
Suzu
IDW.
because you started missing the healing. You're panicking because someone's shooting at you and you're not used to it. You go to heal the fucking ground and then throw a Suzu. Did it even hit your Malga? Oh, look at that. Look who didn't get Suzu'd. Huh. Would you look at that? The poor guy didn't get fucking Suzu because you're panicking looking at the damn ground. And then you look back, you throw a couple kunais at the Kiri, and that's the thing you remember. You remember you killed the Kiri, you got your one. And then your Malga fucking dies. And then you're gonna shoot this Moira a couple times, and I bet you're gonna be in spawn going, team, I got my one. What are you guys doing? What the fuck? You guys are selling.
I licked my wounds. Let's go.
Meteor strike.
Okay, and that team is now absolutely rolling your entire team.
Objective lost. Stop the pain.
Is this guy in chat? God, I hope not. Ah, yes. The classic got scared of the Doom looking at you at full HP. Sorry, not full HP. You took 50 damage and a mini is right goddamn there. But you know what? You have a couple options here. Option 1, fight back against the Doom, try to hit some shots. Option 2, go for the mini and then start hitting some shots. Option 3, try to start healing the Malga and see if he can protect you. Option 4, try to run for the hills. Your option, throw one kunai, immediately Suzu the ground, even though you picked up the mini. So the mini actually is going off. Right? Watch this. You managed to combine all the options into the worst one. You Suzu the ground and grab the mini at the exact same time. So while the heal is going off on the Suzu, you also get the mini. So you steal his mini, which he doesn't need, he's full HP. Waste your super valuable cooldown. And now what? You hide on a box and then run for the hills. But wait, you decide to turn back. And what if somebody had maybe a Suzu, or, you know, maybe tried to heal him on the way out or something? You combined all the options into somehow the worst one. And then you said sorry to him. I guess they said sorry, but you know what though? I don't give a fuck about the voice lines. You don't thank your support for healing you. They did their damn job. You don't say you're sorry to your tank. They do their damn job. Wait, hello, that's... Wait, I thought that was his Genji. Wait a minute, hold on. What are you doing? Did you just try to heal their Genji again? First off, I love the second of, like, ponderance that comes across them right here. And they're like, this doesn't look right. And then goes to leave, and... Oh, hey, that's my Genji. Wait, no, it's not. Like... Okay. Your Moira is kind of feeding a little bit, but why don't you pop your Kitsune Rush? Just go for it. Fuck it, all in. You're gonna do it now, aren't you? I wouldn't do it now, but I mean, like, I guess you could. I mean, well, it's better than whatever this is. We're not even playing the same video game at this point. You're like a fucking clay pigeon that's trying not to get shot. I love how nobody, like, you didn't even turn to the threat. Like, you guys hear the visor go off, right? Right? Hold up. It's like there's a call, no fear. Like, yep, that's not my problem. That's someone else's problem. There's a soldier clearly shooting at you, like, right there. No fear at all whatsoever. That guy's got the mechanical skill of an almond. Pops visor. Still nothing. Not a single reaction. Like, la la. Everything's fine. And then luckily he dies, but you know, maybe try to fight some back, or I don't know, maybe acknowledge the threat. Like, just because you didn't die doesn't mean you did something good there, you know? Like, there's a pretty big mistake in the middle. Okay, kill the Genji, nice. You know, you kind of only hit one kunai, but you know, hey, you did your job, not bad. Not bad. Okay, so your team's playing aggressive here. Surely you're gonna save your... This is actually gotta be like an award for some of the worst Suzus I've ever seen. Hello? Dude, I swear, does your brain just like turn off for small bursts? Like, is there like a subscription plan you forgot to pay? Like, what is this? What happens? Dude, are you like disconnecting? Like, I don't get it. This isn't the first time. Just cut out the wall and then just like, yep, okay. Oh, I'm back. Like, yeah, it's gotta be just getting overwhelmed. Just getting giga overwhelmed every time something happens. That's not the plan.
Perhaps we should stop it.
No, this is not their first game. As a reminder, and the reason why we're being harsh on them is they said, been bronze for quite some time, can't seem to rank up to silver and support at all. Game went on for quite some time, 6 rounds. I lose most games I should win due to my teammates giving up or just selling in team fights. So this is somebody who believes that the reason why they're losing their games is because all of their teammates suck. So, Jesus Christ, dude! There's no fucking way. Like, how are you this fucking bad, dude? How the fuck? You have all year! Dude, okay, so here's the Genji, right? We hear him. We all heard it, right? Here it comes. Here it comes. Dash. Turn around. Slash. Slash again. Dude, you have all year. Throw the fucking Suzu, dude. Holy shit.
What's up? The Kitsune is ready.
And you've had Kitsune Rush for like 3 or 4 minutes. Dude, you Suzu at like the first sneeze of spring, and the one time you need it, you don't pop it. Hell, at least try to TP away and save yourself if you're gonna be selfish with it. Good lord, dude.
The spring flows anew.
Okay, here we go again. We still got Kitsune Rush. We've had it for about 3 minutes. Hello? You're missing an auto aim ability. Just saying. Okay, maybe we pop that Kitsune Rush, yeah? Come on, Kitsune Rush.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
They did it again. I knew they were gonna do it again. I knew they were gonna fuck up this ult. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
And then the best part is, like, they get stunned and they're like, Dude, my teammates AFKing and selling? Isn't this the exact definition of AFKing and selling? Like, like, yeah, you fucked up and then went AFK for like 3 seconds and stand there. Not only is that quite possibly one of the worst Kitsune Rushes I've ever seen, but you also then stand there and do nothing. Is this not like I feel like I need, like, I wish I still had the mirror in my room here. Yep, don't try to TP away or anything. I understand that's not like the worst of your plays, but Jesus Christ. Dude, what the fuck?
Time to try again.
I lose games because my teammates go AFK and are selling. POV.
They're moving the payload. Get on them.
I love how they're looking at the ground the entire time here, like... Hello? Do you not know how to use a door? Where the fuck are you going?
Hey there.
You might quite possibly be one of the worst players I've ever seen. Like, genuinely. Like, genuinely one of the worst players I've ever seen. And I've been doing these bronze spectates for like 4 years. Like, I'm not joking. I think I did a 600 elo ball that his favorite strat on Hanamura II was to go over on the pillars on coast and just spin around them. And that was more useful than what I'm watching at this point. I think bronze might be too high.
Surrender to my will.
How you have the audacity to be mad about your teammates about anything is hilarious. Okay. Wow, another fucking genius sequence here. Walks out of spawn, TPs to their diva, immediately fucking no clue what's happening at all. Okay, I get you get overwhelmed very easily. Goes to heal, guy dies instantly, not your fault, and then you throw the Suzu at the enemy team. Like, your reaction time is like a fucking bottle of Tylenol. Dude, I got nothing for you, dude. Like, this is like what's left of your brain cells rattling around. Sorry, hang on, that's too many. It's your brain working overtime trying to figure out what's going on. Okay, so now, you know, you're 90 HP, looking a little bit spooky here. Probably not standing still in the corner. Yep, immediately Suzu yourself again. Cool. Meanwhile, you had Lamp. Hey, look at, hey. Hang on, wow, why can't I whistle? That wasn't very good. Did I lose the ability to whistle? What happened? There we go, that's a better one. Okay, let me draw your attention to something here. This is how you do a good Kitsune rush. Let's watch the good Kitsune rush. Now watch this other bronze player who knows to Kitsune rush at the enemy. Okay, good. Glad I could teach you that lesson. All right, let's go. Wouldn't it be nice to have a Suzu right now? Wouldn't have mattered that much, but like, you know, at least would have had something to help. Oh, some Lucio, Florcio, pedestrian Lucio at your service. Oh yeah, let me jump right in front of the fucking Doom and Coalescence. That's a good idea. Oh man, hang on, what is the logic behind going Lucio there? You play Kiri, you can fucking teleport through walls. You know going Lucio is slower, right? Like, in this POV, you just walk forward and teleport. Wait, what is that emote? Jesus Christ. You know, you actually somehow found it like a worse way to get back to point. Like, genuinely. And I think, yeah, you wouldn't have got rush in time, but like that genuinely was worse.
Ready for battle.
Dude, what in the fuck is this emote you guys are spamming?
You don't even know what happened.
Oh man.
I have my eye on you.
Okay, you're playing Kiri Mercy. All right.
I draw the chariot.
5,
Whatever you're after,
4,
get it.
3, 2,
My bad.
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
My gift to you.
Okay. I know this is the replay viewer, but Jesus Christ, this orb is gonna fuck with me for a while. Can you go away, Mr. Orb? Hang on, what if I back up? Okay, dude, like, it's perma Discord. Yeah, I mean, just pretend that orb doesn't exist. That's a replay viewer bug. Okay, so this time you've decided to sit on high ground and AFK. Can you not stand still? Bro, hey, fucking bot, wake up, bro. Did someone forget to pay your subscriptions? Nah, ain't no fucking way. No fucking way. Ain't no fucking way. Nah. I'm pulling this bitch back up. Ain't no fucking way you had the audacity to submit this to me, of all people, who is known for being a little fucking harsh, and said, and I quote, "Game went on for quite a while, 6 rounds. I lose most games I should win due to my teammates giving up or just selling in team fights." And you just stood fucking still on the high ground, didn't fucking move, and you had the reaction time of a snail. Actually, sorry, that's an offense to snails everywhere, dude. That the reaction time of something that literally doesn't even breathe, like a celery stick. Like an actual celery stick might have had time to react faster than than what you just showed and displayed to me, and you still somehow found a way to absolutely troll your entire fucking team, not because you're just doing nothing up here on the high ground. You're just standing there and heel botting and trying to be a dick. I can tell that you're ticked off at your teammates for some reason, because you think you made one play at the end of third point attack where you killed 2 people in a Kitsune rush. Oh my god, my team is trolling. They're throwing my fucking game. Dude, the only person throwing your game is yourself, dude. Fuck, man. You just stood still, a bronze soldier. You want to see what the other POV looks like? You want to see what they fucking see? Watch what this guy sees who just kills you. Watch this.
Come get here.
A fucking potato could kill you up on the high ground like this. Watch this. An actual plankton would have gotten that elimination. Hello? And then the Mercy comes in and reses you. Oh. Oh. Now what? Now what are you gonna do? Oh, I'm glad you took time to walk around in circles and you have the social scroll. The scroll was a social wheel open when you're looking for the thank you thing. So instead of playing the game here, it was more important to walk in a circle and try to see if you can find the thank you button. Okay, all right, now what? All right, 3 or 4 seconds later, you got back in the fight, and look at that, your Ramatra died. Glad you at least thanked the Mercy for the res.
They're taking the objective.
60 seconds remaining.
Unlucky. If only, you know, there's a little bit of damage coming out there. Oh, you know, you got the Suzu play, and then you died instantly. The correct play there, if you actually want to talk about like correct play, you were going to lose that point anyways. You probably look to teleport out. You want to teleport up to your Ashe, try to buy some time, teleport back out, see if your Ramatra comes back. It doesn't matter, you're still going to lose this anyways. But the whole reason you even lose this point is completely your fault anyways. So you 100% deserve to lose this game right now. Good, give the Doomfist some heals. I think he needs it. Yep. Let's not turn for the Doomfist behind. Let's look at the Moira in front of us and heal them, even though they're completely fine. Yep, heal some walls. Yep, try to heal your Ashe through the wall. Yep. Totally looking good right about now. You're gonna teleport in. Okay, you teleported in. You didn't have Suzu this time, luckily. It's gonna come out any second, though. Now you have Suzu back off cooldown. Hang on. It's gonna be another misuse. Maybe he actually might not know it's off cooldown. Oh, wow, that was actually not a bad one. That was the first decent Suzu we've seen all day. I mean, you guys are still dead here because I don't know what the fuck y'all are doing, but that's bronze for you. So that kind of stuff happens. But hey, at least it wasn't a wasted Suzu. You know, there's something to build upon. I don't know how you're missing auto aim heals. That's a totally different conversation to have, but hey, you know, oh, my Pokemon battled hard and returned to me. How long does it take to download shit? Oh, I'm glad we're Kitsune rushing with our team. Okay, well, you know, 3v5. Surely the most powerful ultimate on your team is not going to go to waste here, right? Surely not? It's 70 gigabytes. Yeah, let me buy it really quick. Small pause. Just the regular edition shade.
Meow.
Regular fine. Gives you an extra battle pass. I do love me some battle passes. Just kidding. What? What? Hold on.
Did someone say bronze in Overwatch?
One sec. I gotta whip my... Why is it... Ah! God damn it, knocking me off my fucking game. Knocking me off my goddamn game, Shade. I hope you remember this. I hope you remember this. Jesus, I don't know why my Steam is being a pain in the ass this time. Okay. Okay, thank you. One sec. Okay, it's installing. Okay, it's installing. All right, we're good. Okay, sorry about that. Had to have content planned for after. My bad. Okay, where were we with this guy? Oh yeah, the Kitsune Rush. Surely this is gonna be a good Kitsune Rush, right? Like I don't remember anything before this. I got distracted, right? I want to know the logic behind this one. Why did they attempt to throw it up?
Rocket punch.
Disrupting.
Bro, is your brain inverted?
You are safe.
What the fuck was that? I don't even know the thought process behind that one. Yeah, surely let me just teleport back in under half HP in front of everybody using their ultimates and be right in the middle of the fucking open. Surely that'll be a good idea. Surely nothing can go wrong. Oh, wait. They instantly went wrong. And your Kitsune Rush was useless because you were playing only 3v5 and immediately blew your abilities at the start of the fight. Oh, so you go Illari. Oh, surely Illari is going to be the right pick here. Why are we going Illari, by the way?
$10 from Clone Trooper Week. Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
It's go time.
Massive healing pylon right in the middle of the fucking floor. What is the thought process do you think is going through their head right here, chat? What do you think is the thought process right here? Hold on. Wait for it. Right here. What do you think the thought process is? They're sojourn across the map. Gonna fucking shoot him? Gonna go heal him with his fucking tiny beam? Thinks they're still playing Kiri? What is this? No, ain't no way they're about to go behind them and try to... No, they're dead. 3 seconds max. Okay, the Doom didn't notice. I thought the Doom was gonna come over too. 5 seconds max. My bad. It took a little bit longer. I thought the Doom saw them and was gonna come over immediately as well, but they didn't. That quite possibly could go down as one of the worst flanks I've ever seen in one of these. You are literally the biggest troll on your team. I would fucking hate you. If you were on my team, I'd actually unironically probably report you. Ah, yes, let me throw my healing pylon at the enemy fucking team. Surely they need it. Yeah, let's not try to play high ground, do damage, you know, the things Ilari's good at. No, try to play an off angle. Let's stand in the middle of the fucking open with no pylon. Dude, I'm like watching a robot play Overwatch for the first time. What is this? Like, your brain just malfunctions. Again, watch what happens. So they run out of beam, and then they go to heal the brig, and they track the brig the entire time. They're like, oh my god. Wait for it. Hang on. I must heal the brig. Must heal the brig. Must heal the brig. No juice. I have juice now? You know what? Fuck the juice. I'm gonna throw my pylon. Oh, he died. Ah, shit. Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? Brain malfunction. Teammates dying. Teammates dying. Brain malfunction. Brain malfunction. Teammates are dying. Oh, here we are. We're doing things again. ChatGPT play Overwatch for me. And I really wouldn't be this harsh if, again, this guy didn't submit this and say, I lose most of my games I should win due to my teammates giving up or just selling in team fights. Bro, you are the sale. You're the salesman. You're the fucking car salesman. You're the realtor. You are the seller.
Ready.
Fuck, and you're distributing losses to all your teammates.
Not you.
I'll send you the relevant details.
Wait, am I able to see the scoreboard now? Because I have the replay code? Is that possible? I don't know if it is. No, it's not, unfortunately. Fuck.
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Oh, I'm taking damage.
Hey, get off your phone. I promise there ain't no new matches there. Come on. Come on. Ah, yes, let's charge up the Doomfist. Great idea. I don't know why you're playing a Lari Brig. That should have been a fucking giant red flag in your head, but... Hey, yo. Hey, dude, if you're gonna play a Lari, one of those, you know, those characters where you, like, the whole point of her kit is about, like, doing damage and getting kills, you probably should have the mechanical skills somewhere greater than a wooden plank. Because, my goodness, dude, they buffed the bullet size this season. Like, the size of bullets are like throwing small trains at stuff, and you still manage to miss every one. At least a plank can hurt someone. Yeah, that's fair. I should have said like a raisin. Honestly, a raisin might do more damage. They could choke on the raisin. Are you just gonna pretend that the Genji's gone? Like, I love this. This is like me running away from my problems IRL. Watch this. So the Genji's gonna come in here. He's gonna look him dead in the fucking eyes. Watch this, right? Hang on, it's right here. You're gonna look this Genji in the eyes on his left. Looks him dead in the eyes and goes, yeah, not my problem. Jumps away and he goes, yeah, that's the Genji. Now we're in a 1v1 situation. Nah, I'm just gonna look at the bucket back of this car. Nope, 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 not my problem. Nope, nope, not my problem. How many bullets did they have? Did they actually have to reload there? They did. Oh, no, not my problem. Not my problem. Nope, not my issue. Okay, I'm gonna run away now. Bye. Okay, yeah, let's not go get the Mega, though. Bad idea. What are you looking at? Your teammate? Dude, luckily that guy had the fucking intelligence of a celery stick, because Jesus Christ. Why did it was like a fucking moth going after a lamp, dude. Why the hell is this guy focusing? Dude, the Genji, it just happens to luckily be worse and got distracted by the shiny little white thing. Wow, hey, you got your first kill, though. I wouldn't be too proud of that one, but you got a kill, though. Not too bad. Not too bad. Jesus. Okay. All right, now you have a minute 15 to attack, okay? You got a kill, you got momentum. Your Sombra probably could, you know, use a little bit of help, but, like, you know, you can't really do a lot, so probably just, like, throw a turret early just to get, like better spacing. Okay, all right, turret, I guess, behind the corner. Sure, nobody's gonna use that, but luckily it's on a short cooldown now because it got buffed. And you're gonna stand there and wow, that Doom missed. Thank Jesus. See, there's a problem though. There's a big problem when most of the times you live, it's out of pure fucking luck. Like, you are just happening to survive their mistakes instead of doing anything, and it's actually kind of impressive. Hey. Dude, what's with you just running away from your problems? There's, I feel like, you know, you see a Doomfist just come down, right? Right here. You know, you heard him punch over your head. You just like stop moving your mouse for a sec, and that hey, that guy ain't on your team right there. And you just look away. You're like, nope, not my problem. That's someone else's issue. Luckily, your Brig kind of knows how to play Brig and is ruining all of their fun. No way. I thought, never mind. Sub volleyed.
If we don't get more,
This is a.
killing pylon out.
Okay, all right. You know, a little bit of thought process. Put it on the car so that way it moves with me. All right. You kind of have to hit a shot though. All right. Oh, change this to the other window. Why not? Oh, and there it goes. Listen, dude, we all been there, but that is quite possibly one of the worst Illari ults. You Illari ulted the one person on their team who has 2 abilities to cleanse it. Instead of, you know, the guy on the right who's probably about to laser your ass. Never mind, you're Orisa made space. Are you even like, you're not even contributing. You're dead. Wow. They just stopped shooting at you. Dude, why can't I get this lucky in my games? My guy, you're not even contributing.
Not good enough.
Yo, thank you for the membership. I appreciate it, dude. Okay. All right. Surely there's not going to be a C9 here, right? Okay, big pylon. That's on the corner that they can shoot. And there goes the pylon.
The tactical visor activated.
Dude, you would have thought tracking the soldier there was an impossible task. How the fuck did you manage to do that, bud? All right, luckily they're kind of trickling, and now you got a chance, right? You got a chance? You guys are going to cap this, right? You're going to cap this. Right? Maybe shoot the... Okay, they C9'd. All right, you know what? Fair enough, dude. This good. I thought this game couldn't get worse, and it's finding ways to. All right, so now you're like, oh, I found out Illari works. Yeah, I've been popping off the Illari. I did so much there, chat. I did so much damage and healing to my team. Surely Illari's the pick.
2, 1. Attackers incoming.
And the enemy team has a lever.
Objective A.
The enemy team has a lever. Yeah. Wow.
Slow me down.
So hang on. Let me read the message. By the way, I lose most games I should win due to my teammates giving up or just selling in team fights. They have just a straight up lever. You don't lose this game, right? I feel like you're gonna find a way. You're gonna find a way to lose your team this game. I feel like you're gonna find a way. You're like an imposter. You're an actual imposter on your team. Luckily that guy's playing fucking Orisa and can just stand there. Oh nah, you're gonna lose that. Alright, luckily your Orisa's just the fucking goat and kills 4 of them. Your Orisa's just the goat. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough, I guess. Dude, I don't know why you're complaining about your teammates, dude. Your teammates apparently are the freaking goats.
Attackers incoming.
Alright, you're still up 1. They're literally down a player. So there's no way you lose this, right? Okay. Minimal contributions. Shooting the shield. Shot the Rein once, twice. Not bad. Dude, your Orisa's just the fucking goat. What is this? Yeah, let me just fucking... You're a nutcase, dude. You just fucking shift in front of a shifted Bastion, no fear? Dude, that is quite possibly one of the most undeserved wins I think I've ever seen submitted, And the fact that you have the audacity to submit this and say that you lose most of your games you should win due to your teammates giving up or selling in fights is an actual miracle that you even won this game. Dude, I don't know who this guy is. Jay is. You should find that guy. You should find his name and number and address and send him a fucking $500 edible arrangement with a nice card, with a gift card to Outback Steakhouse or to Texas Roadhouse, and say thank you so much for winning me that game because I'm fucking terrible. Jesus. That is possibly one of the worst ones I've ever seen. But it was a good one. It was a good one. So. Anyways. Let me see. Cool. All right, is it downloaded yet? Let me see. It is. It is. Chat, I think it's time. I think it's time. I think it's time to make the swap. Sound good? I think it's democracy time. I've never played it. But I think it'll be a good time too. What did you download? I downloaded Helldivers. All right, chat, listen, if you're here for Overwatch, I appreciate you. Thank you for spending your time. I hope you enjoyed being here. It was a fun stream, especially on YouTube side as well, because a YouTube stream is going to be going down. I hope you guys enjoyed being here. We actually talked about a lot of cool stuff today. We talked about 6v6, 5v5, did some spectating, talked about Overwatch's growth and how things look for the future. So I hope you guys know I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. I invite you to stay for variety. I've never played Helldivers. It should be a good time. I've been enjoying variety when I get to do it every once in a while. If it's not your thing, totally understand. I have no problems with you want to peace out. YouTube stream is going to go down though, because I've been only doing Overwatch only streams on YouTube. So YouTube, appreciate you. If you want to join in on the spreading of democracy, come to Twitch. Otherwise, have a good night.